What's up, everybody? Live on Twitch here for the fourth quarter sweat of Ravens and Bills on NBC. I'm Will Brinson, joined by John Breech. You can watch on Twitch. You can watch on YouTube. If you're joining us, jump in the chat. Debo is here as well. He'll be tossing stuff up on the screen. I'm very excited, Breech, to lose every single bet I have in this game as a result of Lamar Jackson being placed in the NFL's concussion protocol. Took a huge hit, by the way, no flag thrown, but he was flagged for intentional grounding on a third quarter throwaway, the last play of the third quarter. That's when I guess he got hurt, and I forgot that we had to do this Zoom call. That's why we're running a little bit late. And looks like the Bills are probably in pretty good shape to advance up 17-13. Man, what a twist of fate, huh?
Well, Brinson, here we are trying to plan to get on. We're watching this Ravens drive to end the third quarter. And what happens? Not only does Lamar get crushed and knocked out of the game, but he throws a 100-yard pick six. So how are we supposed to? We thought we were going to have a barn burner and that we were going to be sweating out these bets that we're making in the fourth quarter. Now here we are. I mean, this game's over, right? They can't win without Lamar.
I wouldn't think so. The Bills are live. I'm seeing minus 16.5. I should have taken a minus 13.5 when Lamar got hurt. I didn't. I'm sort of contemplating 16.5 because if Buffalo gets a score, I just don't know how. I don't know how the Ravens answer. I mean, they don't have a Lamar Jackson. Like, who's their? It's not even Trace McSorley. It's woo! Josh Allen throwing a tight coverage. Stephon Diggs there. Yeah, there's probably curtains for the Ravens playoff hopes, but. You know, what are you gonna do? Not throw that pass. I mean, the horrible red zone, set of circumstances for the Ravens there. Jerry Hughes busted through the line and was able to. I think I'm gonna take Bills minus 16.5 live. Is that crazy?
I don't think it's crazy. The only thing you have to worry about is that you have the Ravens. The Bills maybe start playing some prevent defense at the end of the game. And so you have the Ravens just driving straight down the field.
Wow, the Bills are being so. That's an interesting first down play. Now it just jumped to 17.5. But no, I can get Bills minus 14.5. I don't think that's any different than.
That's basically you think they're going to outscore
the same thing.
I like 14.5.
But 14.5 is the same thing as 16.5, right? Because they're up 14 points. You need them to kick a field goal either way.
Ravens are going to kick a field goal. You wouldn't think they would. If Buffalo kicks a field goal here, then you're the Ravens. You need 3 scores, so maybe you're in a spot. If you get down there, you would try a field goal because you need to cut 3 scores to 2 scores. But that's only if Buffalo kicks. There's too much math going on here, Brinson.
I would take.
Don't pull the trigger.
13.5. I wouldn't take a minus 14.5 right now. I don't think. I mean, I guess I was about to take 16.5. So what am I talking about?
I actually had a Packers Bills money line parlay, and so at halftime the game's 3-3 here. And I was like, do I just hedge it? Do I bet some money on the Ravens so I win either way?
Well, that's a good one. I've got
I didn't do it.
You didn't hedge.
I did not hedge, so I just need the Bills to win straight up. I feel good now. Didn't feel good at halftime.
What was the payout for that? That's a pretty good bet.
It was pretty. I got smoked last week. Remember, I'm the guy that went 0-5-1 against the spread. So with us running out of football games to bet on, tomorrow's games, there's 2. There's 2 next week. Super Bowl's 1, only 5.
Down from Josh Allen here. I mean, if he hits this, there's no chance. A deep shot and no flags. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So I have my biggest bet of the weekend, Breech, is a teaser. The Packers minus 0.5 point. And I stole this from RJ, Pete, and Kenny White on the Pick Six podcast. I didn't come up with it myself. That makes me kind of a loser. But when those 3 guys like something and I didn't think of it myself, I'm like, all right, I'll bet that for real. That could have been a flag on, is that Marlon Humphrey maybe?
You know what? Right now, hold on. Mike Vrabel sitting at home like, the Bills are punting from Baltimore's 40. The Bills are punting from Baltimore's 40. I took a lot of heat for that. What's going on here?
Hey, where's that tweet from Brinson about my penis, huh?
And somebody's like, Mike, they have a 2-touchdown lead. You were down 4, bro.
Yeah. And it was like 4th and 2 instead of 4th and 11. So anyway, my biggest bet was the Packers and Ravens in a teaser. Ravens up to 8.5.
Oh,
And yeah, I mean, like they score that touchdown there, or even just don't throw that pass. Take a sack if you have to, and kick a field goal, and you're down 4, and you're feeling pretty good about it. And instead, you're down 14.
if you're down 10-6 in a game where the Bills only had one offensive drive, and that was coming out of halftime, where you can kind of script it a little bit and do adjustments, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. So this was a swing that took the game from 10-6 to 17-3. It doesn't get any worse than that.
Absolutely. And let's not forget Justin Tucker, 2 missed field goals. By the way, it's worth noting that the wind is a huge factor in this game. I mean, obviously, it's been that's why the game's going way under. I mean, the total was 49.5 or something like that. But it was much better for the Ravens in the second quarter. And that's the direction it's going. Bills have good win first quarter, third quarter, Ravens good second. And now this is their first drive. Excuse me. Well, it's not their first drive of the fourth quarter, but like it's their first drive that's starting in the fourth quarter, right? Because because the last one, the final play of the third quarter was when Lamar Jackson got hurt, right?
Right.
Yes. So it really stings because they would be getting the ball back with 9 minutes left, down 14. When you've got the wind, Lamar can cook up something. You go down and score a touchdown in like 3 or 4 minutes, and you're feeling fine because you got all 3 of your timeouts. Buffalo isn't running the ball effectively. They're not even trying to run the ball. They have 9 rushing attempts in the game. 4 of those Josh Allen runs, and I don't think they were any design because he only has 7 yards. Devin Singletary 5 for 26. I also have a J.K. Dobbins leading rusher between Singletary and Gus Edwards at -111.
You're looking good there.
Yeah, but the Ravens probably aren't running it, and the Bills probably are.
I don't know that the Bills are going to see. Yeah, I mean, Singletary still needs 18 yards, but the Bills are throwing short. Like they're not running the ball. That's all there is to it. He has 5 carries. The Bills
who started him in DFS is a disaster.
Oh yeah, Brian Dable does not care about your DFS team. He literally is just taking he was scrolling through DFS like, all right, that guy has Singletary. I'm going to screw over everyone that took a Bills running back. They're thinking that Zach Moss is out, so Singletary is going to get all the carries. And he did get all the carries, but there are only 5 of them. So it's kind of there's Lamar. He's coming out of the locker room. Looks like he's limping a little bit. And by the way,
he's in the concussion protocol, though. That's the key.
The Ravens quarterback is Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I know.
Pac-12 legend Tyler Huntley. And let me just say that if you are the Ravens and you're running on first down, are you giving up?
I mean, I don't remember Tyler Huntley.
Brinson, if you're running the ball on first down and you're the Ravens, is that waving the white flag?
Simmonston on Twitch. I felt good about this game once Will said the Bills are the better team, but the Ravens will win. I believe this is where I say, and this is like one of my famous lines. The guys in Raleigh used it all the time on radio. I'm like, did I say that? Is that a thing I said? Like, I don't remember stuff I said. Did I say the Bills are the better team, but the Ravens will win?
Brinson, you say a lot of stuff. I don't know how anyone could possibly keep track of all of that. And it's very possible. If I had to bet on whether or not you said that, I would bet yes.
Me too. I'm trying to keep up and see if
I get stuff like that, though. Somebody a couple days ago tweeted me, hey, John Breech is picking the Bills this week.
Lamar Jackson is out for the game.
Who is?
Lamar Jackson.
That's game.
Chad Steele, Ravens VP of Communications, tweeted that is officially out. That is a problem. Let's see what the Bills are live. There's no way they're below. Oh my God, they're minus. So they're minus 13.5, but it's minus 227.
So you can't even. I'm on BetMGM. You cannot even. They've locked the money line, so you can only bet point spread.
Yeah, this is the point spread. Minus 227
okay.
Point spread. I mean, do you trust Tyler Huntley to pull this off?
No, they just ran the ball 3 straight times when they need to move the ball down without moving the clock. If you're running the ball 3 straight times and you're down 2 touchdowns, that's telling me you have zero faith in your quarterback, and you might as well pound. The Bills are 13.5 on mine right now, and I feel like I should take that because I don't think the Ravens are going to score. Not with the play calling they're doing right now.
I just flipped again to 14.5, but you got to lay plus 144 to get the Ravens. Gus Edwards. I don't know how you can take that 13.5. I mean, that's just, you're laying so much money. And we already saw, oh my God. We already saw Trace. Oh my God, this is insane. Like we saw Trace McSorley lead a touchdown drive. I'm so tilted right now. I'm doing a terrible job.
This isn't Trace McSorley. This is Tyler Huntley.
It's Trace McSorley. Trace McSorley went to the worst college in America.
But he actually looked competent. Tyler Huntley is a 22-year-old who is in the middle of an NFL playoff game right now. He's probably about to wet his pants. They're not going to score.
I mean, I'm sitting on this teaser and I'm about to wet my pants.
All right, here's the deal, Brinson. They're facing a 3rd and 8. If they don't get this, you have to go for it, right? You don't think Harbaugh will punt?
I think you have to go, yeah.
And then if they punt, now you're already in field goal range.
Oh, so yeah, I mean,
they didn't get it. It's 4th down.
It's 4th down. I mean, you have to go.
Yeah, you have to go. I don't know.
6:42.
And you have all 3 timeouts.
I think you wait. I think you wait to go.
The only reason you can punt here,
you have 3 timeouts. 6:42. You got to lean on your defense. You have to assume that they're not going to pass the ball here.
Well, right. And if the Bills, say you go for it and you don't get it and the Bills kick a field goal, it's game over because they're up 3 scores. Like a field goal literally ends this game.
Exactly.
So looks like they're keeping the offense out.
Oh my God. Why did I take that 13 and a half?
13 and a half. You should eat it.
I should take the 14 and a half plus 144.
You should take them both of them. This is inside the gambler's head. This Brinson, you're cracking me up, man.
This is insane. Oh, why are they? This is crazy. Oh my God. I thought they were going to run their play action on 4th and 8. Oh! Get lay your damn arms out, Marquise. He's put it all on the line. Were you kidding me?
Oh my God, he was wide open. That would have been the easiest touchdown that we have ever seen the Ravens get.
I mean, how does Marquise not lay out for that? He's walking into the end zone.
He's so used to Lamar Jackson throwing the laser.
I'm short.
That is, I don't know if he was going to catch that, even if he lays out, Brent. I mean, Huntley overthrew him by a good 5 yards, but my goodness, he was wide open.
I mean, that dude is fast. He runs like a 4.2.
That is insane.
Am I crazy for suggesting that he could have caught that?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we'll see a different angle. I don't feel like he could have caught it, but
I don't think he was going to catch it. But he just
do want to look like on national television that you're giving some effort. You know, like maybe he should have dove whether or not he could have caught it.
You got to go lay out for that.
So, well, since we're at the commercial right now,
I mean, look, he overthrew it. I mean, Tyler Jackson, Lamar hits that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, probably. I'm not gonna say definitely.
Crazy. Well, yeah. I've been at home with a 7-year-old, or 6/7-year-old, for 9 months. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Exactly. Thank you, El Balti. You've got to make an effort. Like, I mean, it's like, you know, when you're a borderline from DB Noco. Like I said, look, he's probably not making the catch, but it's like when you're playing goalie, right? And there's a little dribbler to the right, and it looks like you're probably gonna stop it. Lay out. Like lay out and roll over.
Yeah. You definitely lay out. I don't think he's catching that, but you gotta lay out. Just so it looks like you tried to catch it.
Yeah, he's not catching it if he lays out. He's too short. I mean, I see it. I mean, it was an overthrow. But just
lay out.
It's optics, man. Just lay out. Just lay out. Oh boy.
I mean, if the Ravens hit that, it's a new ball game. It's 17-10 with 6.5 minutes left and 3 timeouts.
Brinson's reaction. You tell somebody's got the Bill or the Ravens plus 8.5. Oh, man. All right, so let's say the Bills are going to get a field goal here, almost certainly. Is there a live line? I'm sure it's just off.
What do you mean, almost certainly? Have you watched any field goal kicking in this game? There's nothing such as there's no such thing as almost certainly with the field goals.
And if you get a sack, maybe you can flip this. Oh man! Oh, look at Tarico with Gruden.
Tarico's looking young there.
Very young. Man, it's a real shame this isn't a 7-point game. Bills minus 17.5 plus 130. I don't hate that.
So you might lose.
Oh, I can get
they're throwing it. They're still throwing.
Why are they throwing the ball? What are you doing throwing the ball? You melt the clock.
They don't care about the clock. The Bills are all about. It's like they're a college football team. They're trying to blow them out so they move up higher in the rankings. We're getting another touchdown and we're winning 24-3. 17-3 is not good enough. Oh, here's a great angle. Oh my God. Maybe I
mean, just jump. Like jump. Even if you don't get it, jump for the ball. Like lay out, jump, dude. Give some kind of damn effort. Diggs, I guess same thing, right? Oh, I don't know.
I think they were saying the quarterbacks are having a tough time like gauging the wind, so you don't have much power to put into each throw.
Well, I said that on the I said that in the first half too. Like you can tell that these.
Oh, there you go, Brinson.
All right, come on now.
That's the stuff you need.
I need a fumble to the house.
We are literally, Brinson, cheering for fumble return.
If I'm going to hold for a field goal here.
And you also need Devin Singletary not to get 20 yards.
I'm probably dead. This teaser's probably dead, right?
I mean, it's not dead at all.
At least I got the Bills. I took the Bills third quarter money line. That was actually smart. The guys on the, I don't know if you watch, if you guys like in-game stuff to watch like this, I recommend you go check out, go to the Deep Dive podcast. My buddies, Drew and Andy. Drew's friend of the podcast because he's been on the pod before. At Whale Capper, I think it's Whale_Capper. But they do for these playoffs. They're doing a Periscope at halftime of every game, and they give out a pick. And credit where credit's due. They stole this one from me because of the win factor. Took the Bills third quarter money line. Took Ravens second quarter money line. That hit. It's the wind has been key. Now it's out. It's off the. It's out the. It's off the table with Lamar Jackson being hurt, but
if Justin Tucker is missing 2 field goals from inside 50 yards, the win is out of hand.
Right, exactly. What's the Gonzaga? What's the Gonzaga score? I had them first half. Did they?
Brinson's so sidetracked now that he's looking at college basketball. He's lost all his Bills Ravens bets. He's moving on to a different sport. We've lost him. We've absolutely lost him.
By the way, if you're one of those people who download this, they're up by 7. Lame. I took Zags minus 8.5 first half. That hurts. If you're one of those people, I just want to say, watching from London, sitting in my apartment at just shy of 4 a.m. I don't know why I'm reading this. Everybody's watching this. Probably see it. Fun to watch this with you guys. Been a pod listener for some time now. Love the pod. Thanks, Simmons Stim. Appreciate you guys listening. Everybody hangs out. You guys are a crazy loyal group, and it is delightful to have you in our lives. All right, field goal time.
That's your cue, man. That's where you say, "Hey, maybe we can get our bosses to send us to London for a live podcast sometime."
Can't even get our bosses to send us to Tampa Bay. How are we going to get them to send them to the London? What are you?
Like 5 years from now, when the pandemic finally ends.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure. Look, I don't want to go to. I have no interest in going to. We're not going to be at the Super Bowl for the podcasting. Not that I'm breaking news, but we're not going to. I guess I am to the listeners, but we're not going, and that's fine. We don't want to go. Honestly, it's you'll be sitting in a hotel room all week. I think there are going to be restrictions the NFL puts on media traveling around there. Restrictions that CBS puts on there for company policy and whatnot. So.
And also, the teams are not traveling down to the Super Bowl until the Friday before the game. Usually, they spend all week down there. You have Monday media night. That's going to be virtual. So, literally, there's not anything to do down there because the teams aren't even going to be down there. Everything is going to be different this year.
Prisco is going down on Saturday.
I'm not surprised.
Before the the Saturday before, because you have to clear COVID protocols.
Yeah. All right, here we go, Brinson. We got our 44-yard field goal.
Pass. You don't need this, baby. You don't need this.
The wind's blowing.
14.
It's blowing left to right. This is not an easy kick.
Hey. Don't tell me. Oh my God. How are you so far ahead of me? I want an HD antenna. Get left. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God. It's still alive.
This Caesar. Baby, come on. It lives. Give me the Undertaker gift. Coffin flying open. It ain't dead yet, Tyler Bass. Oh, I also have the second half under at 23, so that's pretty helpful right there. So I can hit that window with both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. What's the man? Do you know how irate I would be right now if I took the Ravens minus 14.5, 200 minus 225?
Yeah, you would have a lot to complain about. I'm glad that you have something to cheer about right now.
You'd be so tilted right now.
Brinson, I've never been happier to be on a fourth quarter Twitch stream with someone who still has money going out here. You need this touchdown. I'm rooting for Ravens to get the touchdown for you.
I have the Ravens plus 2.5 too. Obviously, that's dead. I mean, Lamar Jackson's out. This would be an incredible comeback. Although I will say that And you know the other thing about the Tyler Jackson thing is, Breech. It's not just that he's a 22-year-old in a playoff game, first NFL throw, right? Has to be
In this game.
No, in his career.
Yeah.
I mean, his first NFL passing attempt was down 14 in the fourth quarter of a divisional round playoff game on Saturday night in I think one of the 3 most crowded NFL stadiums.
I'll check that. He threw 5 passes during the regular season, including one against the Bengals.
Oh, he did? Oh,
but they were both the one against the Bengals, they won 38-3. There's no pressure on you. You know, when you're trailing 17-3 in a playoff game, a little different than getting into a blowout win over the Bengals.
All right, I'm going to give out a second half college basketball bet on here. Cal State Fullerton -2. Don't ask, just take it.
So, Brinson, where were you the last time the Buffalo Bills played in the AFC Championship game?
Was that 90? What year was it?
93 season, January 94.
January 94. Was that is it the same? What year was the I guess the Frank Reich comeback was that 91 or was that 94?
I do not think it was that year. It was 93, but I think it was 92 season.
92 season.
But the last time they were in the AFC title game was the 93 season, but it was January 94.
Okay. So they went 91, 92, 93.
90, 91, 92, 93.
Oh, 4. Yes, right. 4
in a row.
I'm not. Trivia is not going to be my.
You're drinking 4 roses. We get it. 4 roses, 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Bullet now. Bullet was on sale at the ABC store, so I fired to Bullet up. Well, I'm trying to, and I'm trying to think. So, I mean, we used to go down when I was a kid. Although if I'm 12 at the time, I was probably down in Jacksonville, Florida. It was awesome, man. I would go down. Go Dobbins. I would go down and so the Super Bowl in question 2 weeks after the AFC Championship game was the Don Beebe Super Bowl. Dan Beebe. It was the Beebe Super Bowl, right?
When he ran down Leon Lett.
When he ran down Leon Lett.
Man, I'll tell you.
It's kind of cooking here, baby.
Well, keep watching this because look, the Bills are going to look absolutely dumb. Like, you remember we were saying, why are you throwing on first down? Why don't you just try and run out the clock? If you're not milking the clock and all of a sudden this is a 1-score game with 4 minutes left or 3.5 minutes left, you just look dumb if you're the Bills.
Tyler Jackson's kind of frisky. Lamar runs that for 50 yards.
Tyler Huntley, Brinson.
Tyler Huntley. Why am I saying Tyler Jackson? Who's Tyler Jackson?
I have no idea.
Tyson Jackson is the old Buffalo backup.
You sound like me that time when I kept saying Greg Rule instead of Matt Rule.
I'm not even drunk. I'm just tilted, honestly. Like I'm all in on the Ravens today.
Brinson's been cut off.
I got this teaser. Get rid of the ball! Get rid of the ball, man!
Is that a fumble? Does that count as a fumble? What just happened?
Throw the ball. You're a professional.
I have no idea if that counts as a fumble.
I didn't see the end of it.
Was he down?
Let's see. I'm watching. I got the replay on my second TV. Oh, it's amazing how far behind the like YouTube TV is when you're streaming it on the internet. Like they haven't even run the play that he allegedly fumbles on yet. Although I may have paused it. Let's see.
It's
a fumble.
Like his elbow might have been down, but they don't have a good angle.
I think he's down. That ground calls fumble.
He's down.
Oh, he's down. That's ground calls fumble.
That's not even close.
Gotta get rid of that ball, bro. Oh yeah, I hadn't fast forwarded. Okay, so oh my god, and Pete Prisco. Oh, go! Pete Prisco just texted, "See ya, teaser."
That teaser's back in place. Is he watching this game? Why would he text that right now?
He's a clown.
That is the worst time because this teaser is absolutely in play. They need like
why is Pete texting? He's like texting.
That was literally 3rd and 16, and they threw a 19-yard pass. How many times are the Bills going to give up 3rd and long? And we saw them give up a 3rd and 13 on that Lamar Jackson run. We saw them give up a 3rd and 18. The Bills defense cannot stop 3rd and over 13.
Come on, Tyler Huntley, my hero. Get rid of the ball quickly. Oh, Daho. Is that Gus Edwards? What is Gus Edwards? It's Justice Hill. Never mind. All right. I don't mind Justin Hill out there at receiving. This is what's screwed up about gambling, Breech.
What's that?
Just wet. This game's not over, but it's pretty close to over. Ravens have 2 timeouts and 2-minute warning. If they get a touchdown before the 2-minute warning, it's not over. But I mean, they're missing Lamar Jackson, their MVP. And yet there's so much at stake here for me personally. That's what makes football so popular. You got to get rid of the ball, dude.
No, he doesn't.
Or run, go. He almost that's as hard as Josh Allen got hit. That flop earlier was complete and total B. And by the way, there's 100% chance I'm swearing multiple times on this Twitch stream.
Brinson, let me ask you this. Is John Harbaugh going to go to the School of Analytics? If the Ravens score here, does he go for 2?
Yes, 100%. Oh, no.
No, it'd be 17-9. It'd be 17-9.
Fine for my teaser at 8.5.
Yeah. So you'll still
go for. You just need your backup quarterback and Lamar out. You definitely go for 2 because then you can score and win. You don't overtime. You're dead.
Oh, they ran it. What are you doing?
Oh, get out of bounds, Dobbins.
Oh my goodness.
That's fine. That's all right.
Nuts.
This is crazy.
They have their back.
If you score before 2 minutes, I mean, we saw Taylor Heineke almost take down the Buccaneers last week.
This is literally Baltimore's 4th string quarterback. We're talking about McSorley out with an injury, RG3 out with injury.
I covered the NFL for a decade. I can't say his name right. I had to Google where he went to school, and I still don't remember him playing there. Utah, for those who don't know. I'm not. Devo, throw up some questions from people in the Twitch. A better red zone. Oh, ouch, Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, it looks like you don't want to be out there, man. Anyway,
we got 3rd and goal. That's it. You got 2 plays here because you're going to go for it.
And you really need to on this play. You don't need to try to score. Wow, Hollywood's at 87, easily over.
Yeah.
Dobbins,
the thing is, you're at the 10-yard line. So just try and get 5. If you don't have anything wide open in the end zone, just take 5 yards.
Yep.
You just need to get closer.
Come on. Again, Dobbins? How many times?
Oh my God.
Wall, dude.
I don't know if he scores there, but he gets the 2 or 1 yard line at least, minimum.
It wasn't a great pass, but
there was one defender to beat. Where do you want the ball?
I'm just saying, if you get up a little higher where he catches it, try. Look, I'm not trying to let Dobbins off the hook.
I mean, you just said it. This is a guy who's thrown 5 career passes playing in a playoff game on a Saturday night on the road. That's as good as you're going to get.
Dobbins, look, I love Dobbins. I think he's a great player. I think he'll be fine in this league, but he's got 2 terrible drops that cost the
the one where Lamar everywhere.
Great call. This is the Clemson game all over again for Dobbins.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, that's tough.
Wow.
That's tough.
And Brinson's teaser.
Stop putting the Dobbins rush yards up there, Devo. Put something else, jerk. Let's just put up Ravens down 14, teaser number 8.5.
Now Brinson and I, our original plan, assuming this game had still been close, was to make a 4th quarter bet in this game. He had it. It was a high throw. That would have been a fantastic catch.
You gotta pull that in, man. You think you're one of the 3 or 4 best tight ends in football?
So I will say your teaser still has life. It is not left for dead yet because you have 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. You got to force a 3 and out.
It's Singletary time, unfortunately, Breech.
Yeah, that's not good for your prop.
Everything falling. I have Dobbins over rushing yards huge. I have Lamar over rushing yards pretty big. That's dead, obviously. Dobbins over Singletary would be a nice cancel out. I mean, the good news is, the devastating outcome here would be a Devin Singletary jailbreak for a rushing touchdown, because I have the second half under. I had Baltimore team total over 13.5 too. Maybe I should have. I mean, look, Lamar getting hurt changed all of this, by the way. I'm not gonna be happy about losing my face on this game, and I'm clearly kind of tweaking out here on this. My hat's all askew. But I mean, Lamar, if you lose your quarterback, it's like I say, people are like, oh, you picked so-and-so to to go to the Super Bowl. It's like, well, if the quarterback hurts his leg, man, there's nothing you can do. Like, you know what I mean?
That is true. And now it's second down.
Oh, don't
Singletary.
paint a TJ Yeldon in the backfield situation.
All right, the teaser's still alive. You know, that's the big thing here.
The teaser is still alive. And the Bills will not care.
And, you know, I think, so we got someone in the comment just said the Bills don't look ready for the Chiefs. And the thing is, you either give credit,
I think you mean, hey, DB Noko, I think you mean the Bills don't look ready for the Browns.
Well, I think you look at it one of two ways. Look, Buffalo's defense.
I don't know why that's a dog.
The Bills defense just shut down the Ravens. They held them to 3 points. So if you can hold down a high-powered offense at 3 points, that's good. On the other hand, the Bills offense only scored 10 points.
The win isn't going to be like this in Arrowhead. You know, I mean, like, this is a crazy win game. This is just you needed to take the under. I have some live under 29.5 too. So I mean, I'm really have a lot riding on this game, as it turns out. I think as long as Singletary doesn't break one here. Criminy, dude. Are you kidding me on 3rd and 7? You cannot do that. Ravens are out of timeouts, 3rd and 2. All right, so this is the same. Actually, Breech, this is oh man. So this is the same thing as the Packers, because I had that Packers live over 51.5. This is the same thing as that game. If Buffalo, that's such a bad offsides. It's by Calais Campbell, too. If Buffalo gets a first down here, they can take knees.
Yep.
The first down would take you to 2-minute warning. Ravens are out of timeouts.
The game is over if they get
if they get a first down.
But your teaser's still alive if they don't.
4th and 1.
Didn't get it.
Okay. All right. Let's go steal something, Breech.
The teaser's still alive.
Oh, my God. Edwards and Dobbins are tied in rushing yards.
So now we're going to the 2-minute warning. And if you're the Ravens, if you're a Ravens fan, or if you're just a fan of entertaining football and you're hoping this gets crazy, what the Ravens need is a fast touchdown. I think you need it within 60 seconds. Then you got to get the onside kick. And they're trying to get the Ravens to jump offside. It's not going to work.
Oh, my God. Dobbins went -2. I didn't realize that. He went -2 yards on the last run. He's tied with Edwards. What happens to my bet on Dobbins, Edwards, and Singletary if Dobbins and Edwards are tied? I would think it's a push, right?
Yeah. I don't know. That's actually a good question.
This is a good one. Debo, throw up the question about the Browns in the chat. Quit throwing up these rush yard props for the Ravens. If you do that again, I'm going to fly to Fort Lauderdale.
It's going to hang up and make me do everything.
Oh, I don't favor the Browns. It was a joke. It was a joke. Such an asshole, Devo.
You got Brinson to cuss. That is how long it took.
Such an asshole.
Hey,
did I say asshole on this podcast, on this thing? I would swear so many times on this recap podcast. DB Noto ask.
No, he doesn't ask. He's telling us a statement that the Chiefs are now a lock as Brinson's full Browns.
Chiefs are locked. The Chiefs are winning the game.
Guys, Brinson has lost it. You could still win the teaser, Brinson. I'm trying to keep you from going absolutely nuts. I don't know if it's going to happen.
That's okay. I'm trying to tweet out a picture of it. Oh, man. We still win the teaser. It's not dead yet. What would you want on like what do you think the line should be right now, Breech?
For what?
For this game, because I think they'll take it off. This is one of those where
it's going to be whatever it's going to be 14.5. That's what it should be. You have to either think, or 14 even to make you push if they don't want to give away. Do you think either team is going to score again? I think 14 even.
Oh God, I'm not. People crying about yet another draw. Get out of here. I mean, look, I like the Bills. I want the Bills to win. I like the Bills a lot. But I thought the Ravens would win. I was under the impression that the Ravens would run wild on the Bills and that And look, I don't even regret the Ravens pick. Lamar missed a quarter of the game. They had a 101-yard pick six, and Justin Tucker missed multiple field goals inside of 50 yards.
Yeah, it's not like the Ravens got dominated.
Right, if it's 10-9 right now, I don't care if you're making J.K. Dobbins play quarterback and he's not and has to like jam the ball between his legs.
The Ravens have 115 yards more offense than Buffalo.
Right.
Oh. That might be.
No.
I think there's a roughing the punter.
Too close. How do you not block that?
I think they're going to call roughing the punter and it's game over.
Dang it.
This game is going to end on a roughing the punter. It's a special teams play. That's what fantasy runs.
Running into. I just broke my finger.
Oh, that's game. That is game. That's getting called. So we have 8 people here at CBS Sports, and you know what? We're split down the middle. 4 of us pick Buffalo. 4 of us pick Baltimore.
Man.
Brinson, you had Dubin, Jason Lockenfora, and Dave Richard on the Baltimore bandwagon with you. Me, Prisco, Ryan Wilson, and Jamie Eisenberg took Buffalo.
I mean, look, good for the Bills. Good for the Bills. I'm excited for the Bills.
Are you?
The Bills win the Super Bowl. Am I excited for the Bills? Yeah.
Are you going to pick them next week against the Chiefs?
No.
Are you going to pick them next week against the Browns?
Yeah. I don't know. God dang it.
I don't know if you can read this Costas tweet live on air, but I just put it in Slack if you want to check it out.
Let's see. What did Costas say? Costas, man. Costas doesn't swear enough. One last F you to Ravens bettors. That's true, though. Although, look, I mean, here's the reality. If you're John Harbaugh, you're down 14 points with 2 minutes left. Your backup, your 4-string quarterback is in. You have to send the house there. You have to send the house.
Yeah, but you got to tell your guys not to run into the punter.
Well, but I think he should have blocked that. If he gets a finger on the punt.
Yeah, you can't rough him if you touch it.
What's the Scurfro? It's amazing how hard you try to find excuses for the teams that lost to the Bills. Both teams have outgained the Bills in yardage. Like, the Bills are awesome. I love the Bills, but the Colts were the better team. The Ravens, the Ravens had more yardage, right? Right, Breech? Did you say that?
By a lot. It's not even close.
The Bills had a 101-yard pick six, and Justin Tucker, a Hall of Fame kicker, missed 2 field goals.
And if Tucker hits those, Tyler Bass missed 2 also, so field goals kind of cancel out. But I do agree.
Same thing as Justin Tucker.
I do agree that
it was crazy. But look, the Bills are awesome. I've been pounding the table for Sean McDermott for a long time. I said I was wrong on Josh Allen. I bet on him to win MVP this year. He was the second runner-up. I'm not trying to rip on the Bills. But the Colts should have won the game against the Bills, and the Ravens should have won this game. The Ravens made mistakes. The Bills don't. Look, here's the thing with the Bills. They don't make mistakes.
It's like me and ping pong, man. It's like me and ping pong.
No, but Josh Allen, look at these shirtless bros. Good for y'all. Maybe, drink some. By the way, these unders, everything under hit. The thing with the Bills, they haven't had a mass, like the Texans game last year, the disaster Josh Allen turnover. He's tried to do it once in each of these games. And this is not a knock on Josh Allen, but they haven't found themselves where they're pressing and needing to scramble to try and make something happen. And if he gets in that spot, I think there's a chance he can make the massive turnover mistake. Look, I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I said this during the pregame show when I was talking to Frank Stanfield. Look, see this? I'm a loser. Okay, I root for losers. I root for mediocrity. I want the Bills.
See the helmets behind me? There is a Bengals helmet, a Raiders helmet.
If the Bills are the Super Bowl,
that's all we do.
Super Bowl, if the Bills or the Browns win, if it's like Bills Browns AFC title game, it gives me hope that we can see mediocre teams win. I'm here for the Bills. I'm not rooting against the Bills.
That being said, who do you think?
F you. Turn that off. Get it off. I didn't lose all the bets. I got the second half under. Log in and see what the damage is here. Maybe.
See, we got somebody wants to see my ping pong skills. All I do is I keep hitting it back.
I would
everyone else make mistakes.
I would smoke Breech and ping.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'd smoke you.
Do you know what the over under of total points would be? Like 29, because I would beat you 21-8. You'd be lucky to get 8.
I will bet you any amount of money you want that I get more than 8 points off you.
Oh my goodness. I don't know, Brinson.
I can't wait.
I've never seen you play, so I shouldn't say I can hold you to 8 points, but I would win.
Twitchers, how many Love Will squirming? I'm not squirming. I don't know. Like, look, the Bills. The Bills are a really good team. They're a 13-win team. They're awesome.
Oh my god!
Those 2 playoff games that they won were really close games. You need luck in the playoff. If you want to win a Super Bowl, you need luck. The Bills have gotten some great luck and have played some smart football and haven't made any mistakes the first 2 weeks of the season, or first 2 weeks of the playoffs. Excuse me. And yeah, 340 to 223. That's what's the yard?
Talk about the total yardage.
Yeah, let's see what the yards per play is. Yeah, 4.7 for Baltimore to 4.0. I mean, it's almost 0.7 yards per play difference is pretty enormous. I mean, that profile.
That also tells you how bad the Bills' offense was. 4 yards per play.
4 of 13 on third down.
I mean, that's horrible.
The Ravens went 0-3 in the red zone. That's the difference. I mean, look, the Ravens went 0-3 in the red zone. Lamar Jackson got hurt at the end of the third quarter. And the Bills had a 101-yard pick six. I mean, I'm happy for the Bills. I'm mad I lost my money. Breech would demolish Brinson in ping pong. Line 12.
12's fair. 12's fair. Michael C., that is so true. 8 was a little. I got a little excited because you lost all your bets and I won mine after a rough week last week. Brinson,
what a joke.
The Bills Packers money line.
Oh man, I took a bath on Dobbin. Oh, how did they? And look, now part of this too is let's credit. And we'll talk about this on the recap podcast. Wilson will join us shortly. You're Debo. I swear to God, you are. Somebody needs to get Debo on the screen. This little a-hole is cackling. He's posting Dobbins rush yard props, making fun of him. Get up here. What are you doing? You're killing me. Are you having the time of your life?
Yes. There's going to be a nice compilation video made off your reactions in this one.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, all right, Debo, let me ask you this. If what do you think the wrong side was? I mean, am I being my usual obstinate, refusing to acknowledge that someone else is right, argumentative self, or do you think the Ravens? I'm not like trying to like dog the Bills here is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, we admit that we have the habit of focusing on the losing team. I think it's just a matter of how much we focus on the team that actually loses rather than the giving credit. We should give more credit, but I don't think you're trying to detract.
Right, so here's what I'll say. And this is what I was sort of getting into when you threw up the J.K. Dobbins prop. And this is my point. Dobbins and the Ravens, that first drive, ran the ball down Buffalo's throat. They were moving the ball at will. Credit to Leslie Frazier, who, by the way, deserves some head coaching interview love. Like, why aren't you calling Leslie Frazier? He wasn't that bad in Minnesota. Credit to him. He adjusted. He stacked the box, particularly in the second quarter when the Ravens had the win against them, and he dared the Ravens to pass the ball. And do you know who didn't adjust? Talk about like Greg Enron Roman, because this dude's stock couldn't have fallen further in the last 18 months. I mean, what on earth? This guy can't adjust in game. It's crazy. His playbook sucks. He's like, you're throwing into the wind the entire second quarter, and you're running deep developing routes while your offensive line isn't blocking, and you have a quarterback who isn't like exactly Aaron Rodgers. Maybe coming out of halftime, the Ravens did the short stuff, and that improved their offense, and they moved the ball down there, and then they didn't, they came away with the pick, or they didn't score. My point being is that credit to Leslie Frazier for adjusting. Credit to Brian Daboll, because they scripted out I think the Bills knew coming out of halftime into the third quarter, if they had a well-scripted drive and got down there and got a touchdown, not that the game was over, but because they had the win, they had to get that because they had the win with them. They knew the Ravens would be unable to run the balls effectively. They did that, and as a result, they put themselves in a very good spot. Excellent coaching by the Bills. Sean McDermott is a top 10 coach. Maybe I don't know about higher.
Probably higher.
I know, but you got to go. I mean, there's so many dudes with Super Bowls.
There's one less after this week.
No, I'm just saying. Would you take McDermott over John Harbaugh? That's a tough one. That's tough. So Bill Belichick and Andy Reid, you know, whatever you want about this Patriots season. Belichick and Andy Reid are lockjaw 1 and 2.
Would you definitely at this point in time, no discredit to what he's done in the past, but would you take Pete Carroll over Sean McDermott for
exactly the example I was thinking of, and I would 100% take Sean McDermott.
All right.
If you were like,
you go Belichick, Andy Reid, and then go triple Sean Payton, Sean McDermott, Sean McVay.
Yeah, see, Payton to me is a top 3 coach easily. Like, he's a little underrated even. Like, I mean, why does it? Sean Payton has had a Super Bowl for much longer than Andy Reid. You know.
I mean, the other William and Mary guy that Ryan would be mad if we didn't bring up right now.
I mean, Tomlin's never had a losing season.
Yeah.
Would the Steelers, if the Bills called today and said, "Look, we'll trade you Sean McDermott for Mike Tomlin straight up," what did the Steelers say?
Steelers say no.
Speaking of Sean McDermott, Ryan has requested that we mention that William and Mary trashed Miami of Ohio in the show. My alma mater is Miami. Ryan's is William and Mary. Sean McDermott went to William and Mary. John Harbaugh went to Miami of Ohio. There you go, Ryan. I mentioned it. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, he missed. He missed. Oh, and he may have pulled a hamstring or a muscle, and there is complete elation.
We're gonna, Debo, I don't know if you have obviously I have a to-do list for the podcast in the off season. I keep meticulous notes, lists everywhere to do things, very organized human being here. What's that?
This is well known. Yep.
Yes. Hypothetically, if you have one as well, we should get Kevin Harlan on the podcast this off season.
Would love to. Absolutely.
Can he reenact the call? Do you think he would?
I think he would give us a pick six, like an original pick six dunk. He'd be like, oh, just something. I think he'd give us one. The thing that bugs me about the Harlan, so like I've heard Kevin do Kevin. The first time I met him at my first Super Bowl ever, Prisco, we give Pete endless crap, but Pete's always been nothing but great to me. And like, he's like, I want to have you on my radio show on Radio Row. I was like, yeah, like I'm not doing radio appearances at this point in time. I'd love to do it. And I go over there the time that I'm supposed to do it. And he's like, come here, sit down. And he's like in the middle of an interview with Kevin Harlan. And I just jump in with Kevin Harlan. And Harlan he sat there and was so effusive with his praise for Prisco. I could not believe it. But yeah, I think he would definitely come on the podcast and give us a custom dunking.
I was just thinking
about, you're muted.
Real quick, Brinson, I was thinking about a story I wrote about the Bills hero. Is it Taron Johnson?
Yeah.
NFL Combine.
Taron Johnson, one of the two.
He went viral in 2018. He's got hit in the head with a football. I just put it in Slack. So if people are online, just Google Taron Johnson, NFL Combine, smashed in the head by a football. That was the first time I heard his name, and I had not heard it until tonight. So there you go. Pick six.
Great stuff.
Yeah. DM Mart 42.
Floating not winning in the second half.
Brinson's vocabulary increases by like 15% the more he drinks. So it's actually weird because usually your vocabulary gets worse and you start using fewer words. Brinson's the opposite. I can't explain it, know how it works, but it is a fact.
That is true. When I become inebriated, I become loquacious. Effusive? How is effusive a big word? I'm a friggin' professional writer. Just because I don't act like a professional doesn't mean I'm not a professional, D-Bart.
Let's, I mean, do you want to continue the coaching conversation? I feel like.
Oh, look, Andrea Buffalo showed back up with a hi, everyone, after the game. Congratulations on your Bills. Is it Andrea? You love to see it, man. You can.
It's Andrea.
Andrea.
So he knows complicated words, but he can't pronounce your first word. The first name is a basic one.
The tease is killing me. Like that should have hit. Oh,
should have gone. Should have gone.
Hear about your money, your
Packers, Bills money line, Brinson. That's where the money was at.
Greasy ass money line parlay.
That's where the 2-team parlay.
What was it? Minus 175 or something like that?
No, it's plus 111.
What for Bills and Packers?
Money line, yeah. Yeah, you see that face? I saw that face. That was I should have done that.
Yeah.
Plus, man.
I'm trying to think of the effusive seems like a big word. Yeah, I agree. We'll get Kevin Harlan on.
I was going to ask
Randy Sal will never not be great. It will never not give me a sense of joy. It's almost like you know how awesome the Scoop There It Is commercial is? Do you want to see me dance to Scoop? If they play Scoop There It Is, I'll dance to it. Scoop There It Is.
I don't even have to play it. You just dance to it.
I do that every time, but I'm just like I can't even help it. I'm just dancing.
What would it take? What type of quality sound would we have to get for you to eliminate that from your soundboard? Like, I think it's in position probably number 2 right now after
to eliminate Harlan.
The 3 that are untouchable are the Dickie V, the Harlans are on the same level right here. They're not. I don't have them ordered like 1 through 8. I guess I can move them around, but because they're color coded on the Roadcaster. So like I know to like I just know where to hit. So but 1, 2, and 3 are untouchable. I don't even know what then.
I mean, just play it.
Let's see. No, I'm trying to think what the other ones are. I haven't changed them up in a while.
The Cowboys will be 3.
That's pretty good too. That's
come in and put work in the building, go out to the practice field and work hard.
That's JJ Watt's long rant.
Tyron Mathieu.
That one's untouchable. Dickie V.
If the Steelers lose at Cincinnati next week, Ryan Finley tattoo right here.
That's gotta stay until he gets the tattoo.
Okay, that's not used enough. I don't know. Okay, so there's 3 dunks and then 5 like sound clips.
Well, I think you can dump the Finley tattoo remark after Ryan gets the tattoo. But until then,
we gotta stay diligent on this tattoo. I feel like
you gotta play that like once a week to remind him. But then once he has a tattoo, you can free that space up and use it for something else.
I feel like Wilson is not going to get the tattoo.
I think he's going to get it.
Although, you know what? I will say this. I do think that Wilson, and he's not watching it, I don't think. Maybe he is. If he is, great. I would say to his face. I do think, so like my dad, when he turned, I don't know, probably 50 range. And look, I mean, I don't know if this will happen to me. I'm sure it will. I feel like I'm permanent midlife crisis, so maybe it won't. But my dad, like, got a motorcycle and started riding it around. I sort of feel like this tattoo is Wilson, the inner rebellious Wilson, looking to break out and have a midlife crisis without actually doing something. So, like, in other words, he can go and get this tattoo, and for him, it will satisfy his midlife crisis urge, but without actually doing something where people will be like, look at this moron having a midlife crisis.
I mean, you don't think people are going to say that when they see that he has a tattoo of Ryan Finley, a career backup quarterback?
It'd be like if we made a bet on the podcast that the loser of the bet has to go skydiving. So you're like, all right, well, I lost the bet. I have to go skydiving. So you have a built-in excuse for why you're engaging in this very clear midlife crisis activity. So in other words, Wilson is using the Finley law. He's like, you know what? I'll just get the tattoo. Like, who cares? It'll be on my arm. People will see it like once, maybe twice a year. No one will say anything. I don't hang out with anybody anyway. I'm a recluse who, wears, nice clothes. Like he's wearing long sleeve shirts because he's living up in New York anyway. So no one's going to see it, but he'll get it out of his system. And I think that is appealing to him.
I mentioned the tattoo to some friends this weekend, and they were saying how painful, obviously none of us would know, but the spot that he's talking about, screams some pain for Ryan Wilson in his near future.
Yeah, I think he's got to change the spot. Everybody I've mentioned it to said that too. Is this Cal State floating game on? It's losing right now. They're down 5.
All right, Brinson, tell us why the Browns are going to beat the Chiefs tomorrow.
I mean, I don't think they are, but there's just something.
Why? They're definitely going
There's
to.
nothing.
There's
They're
nothing.
not. There's not. They can't.
They can. It's not 100%.
It is not 100%. I'm doing another parlay tomorrow. I'm gonna do Chiefs Saints money line. I'm gonna keep rolling with the 2-team parlay until it fails me.
What does that pay out?
Even.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So you bet that
I got minus 505. I think the Browns are going to cover. If you think the Browns are going to cover, you have to be willing to acknowledge that they can possibly win the game.
And I picked the Browns to cover, and I do think they could win. I was just kidding. Obviously, they don't have no chance. We don't say no chance anymore after I said it last year when the Teddy Bridgewater Saints went to Seattle and after Wilson got a freaking tattoo because he said the Bengals had no chance against the Steelers. So I think we have eliminated no chance from our vocabulary.
And that does pay out almost exactly even.
Exactly. So then you know what happens? You put that down, and if the Chiefs win and the Saints score the first touchdown, the Buccaneers live money line drops to plus 200, and then you can't lose.
Maybe like plus 250.
It might. That was my plan for the Ravens, but then after the pick 6, the live line got so big, I knew the Ravens weren't going to win.
That's a pretty good bet, Breech.
But the first team has to win. That's the only. If the Browns pull off the upset, then you lose.
Right. But that's why you want the schedule the way it is. You want the Packers first, and you want the Chiefs first.
Exactly. You get the guarantee win or the more likely win in the first game, and then you can live bet the second game to make sure you win money.
So, all right, like if you want me to Andy Reid off the bye, Andy Reid off the bye. If you want me to come up with a formula for how the Browns win, I mean, honestly, it's who? I was on Bill Barnwell's podcast, as I am frequently, because Bill Barnwell and I are buddies. And Barnwell pointed out the Packers, the game in 2011 when the Packers were 15-1, and the Giants, who eventually won the Super Bowl, came to town. And basically, everything has to break right. Is what has to happen. It has to be, and the reason it's tough to like get behind that is that everything already broke right for the Browns against the Steelers in the wild card round.
And also, let me just say, even if everything breaks right against the Chiefs, you might not win because everything broke right for the Texans in the first half last year, and they went up 24-0.
And like, let's say the Steelers and Chiefs game, or the Browns and Chiefs game plays out exactly like the Steelers and Chiefs game. The Steelers and Browns game last week, right? Like, first snap over Mahomes' head. He doesn't dive on it. Touchdown Browns. Mahomes throws a pick 6. Mahomes throws in 2 more picks. Like, but we don't know what we're seeing from Mahomes. And he was bad against the Falcons and bad against the Dolphins for stretches in the first half. They've been playing with their food, as some people like to say. So it's not out of the question. Even then, with a 35-7 lead, like we saw the Steelers almost come back. The Chiefs would come back and win the game. Like they would have. The Chiefs would have gone for it on 4th down. The way that dudes were running wide open, it would have been. It's really difficult to imagine Patrick Mahomes not having a big day. But the difference between between the Chiefs and the Steelers is that the Steelers have 0 run game and cannot run the ball at all. As AF Pierce points out in the Twitch chat, Denzel Ward back is huge for Cleveland. Could not agree more. Massive piece to their secondary. I don't know. The problem is they're so bad against tight ends, and Kelsey is just such a I mean, Kelsey's like trending towards becoming the best receiver. He's probably the best receiving tight end in NFL history. And that's no disrespect to Gronk. I think Gronk's the best all-around tight end.
And real quick on Denzel Ward, he is back, but by the time this game kicks off, he is not going to have played football in like 21 days. And that's a long way off for a corner if he's going to be trying to play every snap. You fall out of football shape a little bit when you're not on the field for every single practice or every single game. And so now you're trying to run around, cover these Chiefs receivers. Like, that's exhausting. And if you've been off the field for 21 days, that can be rough. But I will throw in one quick fun fact. Over the past 15 years, Brinson, there have been 25 playoff games where a team was favored by 9 points or more. Guess how many upsets there have been of those 25 games?
25 games the last 9 years of
15 years since 2005.
15 years of 10 points or more.
9 points or more, because the Browns is fluctuating between 9.5 and 10. So I just went 9.
Playoff games?
Only playoff games.
Well, the Giants beat the Patriots. So that's 1. The Jaguars beat the Steelers. Were they 10-point dogs? It might have been like 5.
That is close, and surprisingly, the answer is higher. It's 7.
Let's name these games. Oh my God, I named the freaking Giants Packers. What's wrong with me? That game was clearly 9, right? Had to have been 9.
What year was that?
2011. January 2012.
That was. It looks like it was not.
Okay, they might have been.
I'm using Pro Football References.
All right, well, give us the games. Go in chronological order.
The games, real quick. Last year, Titans beat the Ravens. Titans were a 10-point underdog. The one before that was Broncos beating the Ravens.
Oh, the Flacco bombed a Jacoby Jones game.
Yeah. That wasn't they won the Super Bowl. The Ravens won the Super Bowl that year. That was Peyton Manning's first year with the Broncos, and the Broncos were favored by 9 in that game. So only 2 in the past 8 years. So maybe you shouldn't feel good if you're a Browns fan.
Answer the question on the screen from AF Pierce. Kelsey's over under is 94.5.
Ooh. I will say,
what are the rest of the games? I'm curious.
All right, so that we've got 2 of the 7. Number 3 is Jets Patriots. Mark Sanchez pulled off that upset of New England.
Yep.
In the divisional round, the Patriots were favored by 9.5. Then we had the Beast Quake. If we would have sat here long enough, you would have definitely said that game. Saints had to go to Seattle to play a 7-9 Seahawks team, and the Seahawks won 41-36. That was the Beast Quake game. Saints were favored by 10. Chargers Jets, which I remember because the Jets beat the Bengals in the wild card round, and then they played the Chargers, and the Chargers were favored by 9, and the Chargers lost to the Jets. Again, Mark Sanchez with these upsets, getting crazy. Brinson, you might remember this one. Panthers Cardinals, 2008 season.
Look up can you click on the box score for that game? What's Larry? That's the game where I was at that game covering it, actually. I think that was my first playoff game I ever covered as a professional sports writer. I was at Fan House. I think Jake Delhomme threw 5 picks, and Larry Fitzgerald's receiving line is obscene.
8 catches, 166 yards, and a touchdown. That is insane. He literally carried them to the playoffs.
Yeah, his receiving totals that
was 2008. And then the next game is the Super Bowl that you mentioned. The undefeated Patriots were favored by 12.5 against the Giants. And then our last game on the list over the past 15 years.
Hold on. What year was it?
2007 season, January 2008.
I mean, it had to have been the Giants, right?
Wrong.
Who was it?
Peyton Manning again.
Oh, the Ravens team.
Colts, Chargers.
Oh,
your boy Phillip Rivers.
I'd lose that. That's when Phillip Rivers tore his ACL.
And they won. The Chargers were 11-point underdogs, and they won 28-24.
And Damian Tomlinson's on the sideline in that little coat and the black visor.
And you know what's crazy? 7 wins out of 25 when you're an underdog of 9 or more. That's a lot. So that tells you that playoff upsets happen a lot more than an upset like that does in the regular season.
I hope you didn't take this. Maybe didn't take this Cal State Fullerton second half. Boy, they're getting blown out. What is your prediction for the spread and total if it's Bills and Chiefs next week? Man, I don't know how high you can make this total. That game screams 70 points. Like dudes taking shots down the field. I would say that the line will be See, I mean, obviously, I don't think you can make the Chiefs less than a 3-point favorite. And it depends on how the Chiefs look against the Browns, too. You can't make them less than a 3-point favorite, or else people would hammer the Chiefs. You can't make the Bills a 7-point dog, or people will hammer the Bills. So I'll say Chiefs -4.5. Maybe Chiefs -5. Because at 5, I would probably lean to the Bills, but I'd be scared against betting the Chiefs. And then I think the total, so we have a 49.5 point total with Bills and Ravens close despite wind, and like TV showing us crazy wind popping up late, even though the forecast kind of said it was gonna be like 13 miles an hour. That closed at 49.5. And unless something has changed, yeah, so 57 for Browns Chiefs.
Wait, real quick. When the Chiefs and Bills played earlier this season, I think it was week 5 or 6. That was in Kansas City, and the Chiefs were favored by 5.5. So I like your. I think 4.5 would be about right.
That would have been a simpler way to get here, is to just look at the last time they played. I would guess that the over/under is. I mean, can it be lower than 57? Maybe. Right. I bet it opens at 55, and it's up to 50. Out of the Bills, defense is a lot better than the Chiefs.
The Chiefs' highest over/under this year was 56.5. So,
I mean, both of these teams will be a little methodical. And don't forget, like, Sean McDermott is a Andy Reid protege. I mean, I don't think he'll be. I don't know. I'll say 56. Chiefs -5 and 56. Angriest on that note, what do you think the spread and total would be for Browns Bills? So that game would be in Buffalo, obviously. I think the Bills would be. I mean, they can't make the Bills 10-point favorites because that's what
I'd be like 6.5. Somewhere around that touchdown range where the 7-point threshold. I'll say Bills by 6.5, maybe 5.5. But also, if the Browns are playing that game, that means they just beat the Chiefs. And if they come off beating the Steelers and the Chiefs, Vegas is thinking, or the odds makers are thinking, all right, well, a lot of people are betting Browns after 2 big wins, so maybe we don't want to make this too big.
And presumably, if the Browns beat the Chiefs, their run game will have been outstanding. And we saw the Bills; you can run against them. And I would actually posit that in a game like this tonight against the Bills in this win, that I think the Browns would have been a worse matchup for the Bills than the Ravens, because I think Baker's a better passer at this stage than Lamar. Lamar's obviously a better runner, but the Browns' run game is better than the Ravens. But their offensive line's better, and those 2 running backs are just dynamic. So I'm not going to pick against the Bills again. I'm done with it.
And to Brinson's point that the Ravens played well, the Bills are the first team in 5 years to win a playoff game when being held to under 225 yards.
Oh! That's for you.
And the last team to do it,
listeners.
Brinson was also at that game. He was at that game.
Panthers, right? Cardinals?
Super Bowl 50.
Oh. Huh.
Broncos.
Oh, yeah. The good stats, Breech. So, yeah, I'll say I think Bills -6.5, and it gets to 7 kind of quick. Maybe. And then the over/under for Browns Bills would be. It's in Buffalo. I think Buffalo weather is supposed to be awful next week. It's supposed to be really cold. It is tracking to be a high of 26. And
that's the night game. So that's the one that's being played at 6:40. So it's going to be falling. Temperature will be falling.
The temperature at 6:40 is looking like it's by halftime of that game, it's gonna be like 23 degrees.
The upside is
it doesn't look like there's a bunch of wind, but I mean, that's who the hell knows. And it's crazy because, like, if you look at the forecast for Buffalo, there's like if there's 7 days between now and the next game, like 4 of them are projected for snow, and obviously that could change like immediately. So we could be looking at a ton of snow. Thursday and Friday are showing a bunch of wind. Wednesday and Saturday look good. I mean, this could all move. I mean, this is a 7-8 day forecast. So, I mean, I would think that a really cold and a ton of wind would favor the Browns. I cannot believe I'm going to talk myself into betting on the Browns against the Bills in the AFC Championship game. If the Browns and Bills play in the AFC Championship game, I mean, you think 2020 was weird? 2021 might be insane.
That would be as crazy as it. You know what, though? What do you think CBS wants more since we televise that? Would we rather have Mahomes versus the Bills? Or do we want like the two teams that haven't been, the Browns haven't been in the AFC title game since 1989. The Bills haven't been there since 1993. You know, everyone in Cleveland is watching that game. Everyone in Buffalo is watching that game. And, you know, people love the underdog story, but is that bigger than Mahomes playing?
Well, let's think about it like this. So, I mean, we have it's Packers. For starters, we are in very good shape. We being CBS on the NFC side of things. We have Rodgers, Brady, or Brees.
Right.
That is a win for us. That is massive. A Rams Super Bowl run is a disaster for CBS. Like Rams Browns is 42 Clay Travis articles about how football has become politicized and nobody wants to watch because, you know, they're taking these on the. It's like, nah.
Also, what does that tell you about like how misguided the Rams were to want to go to LA? We're talking about this is the second biggest media market, and that's the team we're like, yeah, that a lot of people will be watching if the Rams are in there.
The NFL wanted it because they like the idea of selling that media market. But so, God, really, I mean, we're in pretty good shape. Period. We were in pretty good shape as soon as the Packers won. CBS, that is, because you knew you were going to get Rodgers, Brady, or Brees. That's a great story, no matter what. You know, Brady doing this thing to Belichick, Brees winning a second one, Rodgers winning a second one, and then on the other side, it's Lamar, which would be fine. Josh Allen, breakout season, fine. Patrick Mahomes, ideal, and the Browns. Baker Mayfield's a star. That Browns team will run their mouths, and the Browns in the Super Bowl would be, I think, a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah, I do think a lot of people would too, because you're talking about the Browns again. You named all the quarterbacks either versus Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Drew Brees, and everyone is watching. If I have to rank,
well, so what's the worst Super Bowl matchup
left?
You come out. So I mean, like we're doing Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Packers, Bucks with Brady, Saints. Like I don't know. There's a bad matchup out there. I could see Saints Browns being kind of but that's it. I don't know.
I was gonna say Saints Bills, but it's definitely Saints.
Saints Bills doesn't
I'm
have.
talking about, is the casual fan like excited about that? Because every casual fan knows that the Browns have been garbage for so long that they're going to tune in for pity.
Pierce wants to know, does Breach not believe in running the heater?
I would just like to know that like the last.
Do you not? So I don't know if people know this. We do all these. By the way, I don't have a heater over my office. I ran this gas fireplace for like 6 hours today, so I could stay warm up here. That's why I'm always wearing the poofball hat. But we do all these shows on YouTube. Breach always wears a half zip, and it's always cold in his basement. Breach is a frugal, responsible man.
That is half true. I was out in the rain today, and I just didn't take the coat off. No, I don't want the heat bill to go up. The heat is expensive, guys. My office is in my basement. I gotta stay warm, so I keep the coat on so I don't have to turn the heat up. And you know what? Brinson was in a freaking toboggan like last week. I don't wear a toboggan.
I have like 7 hats.
There we go.
3 bottles of bourbon on my desk right now.
I only drink out of the CBS Sports sanctioned cups, so nobody knows what I have.
Flaunt that you're getting drunk on a company.
No, why?
Meanwhile, I'm like, hey,
you don't know what's in here. That's
down glass of red wine that I didn't finish. Here comes the bourbon. That's right. That should be the name of the podcast. The bourbon's been out for a while. There's
you need to get your own bourbon podcast, Brinson.
Midnight already. It's almost midnight. I'm gonna be obliterated.
All right. Well, wait, real quick. So you talked about what would be the worst Super Bowl.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, what is the Angriest points out this is a great call. Browns Bucks is the worst matchup via Dave Damashek, friend of the show, Dave Damashek, friend of the program, Dave Damashek, who's been on multiple times. I'm not sure. I gotta ask Shek, why haven't I been
the worst uniform matchup? You missed the capitalized word.
That's what I was gonna add. Browns Bucks is a disaster. Like an unwatchable face effing where your eyes are just bleeding out of your face halfway through the
unless the Buccaneers, because they're playing in Tampa Bay and the NFL says, you know what, you guys can wear the creamsicles. And then we get creamsicle Buccaneers uniforms. Tom Brady wants to wear them. He tweeted about it earlier this year in the offseason. If the Buccaneers broke out creamsicles for the Super Bowl, be the highest rated game in football history.
Not against the Browns, but yes, it would be a beneficial game. By losing Cal State Fullerton, oh my God, Cal State Fullerton lost by 11 in the second half. Well, that's something, guys. Yeah. I did take Fullerton, not Northridge, right? Yep. Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, let's take a collection for Brinson. Let's do it. I'll tell you who's incredible. Gonzaga. Man, they are good. They smash.
Wait, so what would the best Super Bowl be?
Not
Not uniform overall. Is it Brady or is it Rodgers?
I think it's Rodgers.
Over Tom Brady?
It's close.
Tom Brady is the biggest
All right. Well, so on
celebrity the NFL has.
I think it's Mahomes on the AFC side.
It's Mahomes, no doubt. It's the Chiefs either versus the Packers or the Buccaneers.
Bills would be really good, but I think we're not talking like we're talking about like aesthetic and like lead up, like we're talking ratings. Like what, like we're trying to get the heads of our bosses. What do they want? I think they want Mahomes. I think they want Chiefs and Packers.
Yeah.
1 versus 1. I feel like there's because we've seen the Chiefs and the Bucks play already.
Well, but the other part of Chiefs Packers, it's historical. You know, like the Packers are that age-old franchise, and you know what, Brinson? It's a rematch of Super Bowl I. So you get the Super Bowl I rematch. You get like obviously the Mahomes Rodgers part is the sexy thing here, but you also want the team names.
Oh,
there's no more famous what?
State Farm. It's the State Farm Super Bowl.
State Farm Bowl. That's a good point.
MVP battle. Yeah, it's Chiefs Packers. Chiefs Packers would be, if we get Chiefs Packers in Tampa, epic numbers from a ratings perspective.
And State Farm definitely gets a return on their whatever they paid Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. They're going to get a 7,000% return on that investment because that's all anybody's going to be talking about all week.
By the way, people are like, let's take a collection for Brinson. I hit the Devontae Adams first touchdown in the Packers game, so we'll soldier on. But not an overall great day for me. Oh, am I gonna? All right. Oh boy. Oh man, they already cashed those. Nope, they haven't cashed those prop bets yet. I hate to see that. Let's talk about these games tomorrow, Breech.
Yep.
You know what we'll do? Here, hold on. We will bring it up on the screen because I'm a professional. Damn it. Devo, I'm sharing my screen in a second with you. Breech knows I can do this because he watched the pregame show, obviously, right, Breech?
I have other duties, but I tuned in for a little
all for one bet. All right, so here's what we have for the games tomorrow on WilliamHill.com. Get out of here. It's such an I'm gonna call you an S, and it's gonna get me fired, isn't it? I'm like, I can't believe my son learned how to cuss. Like, he cusses up and down a storm. So we have. It looks like the Browns are gonna get below 10. I don't know.
It's been fluctuating between 9.5 and 10.
Yeah, I mean, you if you like the Browns, take them now. I think there's some. I don't want to say sharp money. I just think sharp people are on the Browns. I think 10 is too much for a divisional matchup. You know, we saw the there's no way that the favorites are going to sweep the divisional round. No chance, right?
Yeah. They could.
Ah, man, they could. The Bucks +3 is also -115, which means that's getting some action. That's been moving from 2.5 to 3-2. I mean, I love the Saints I like the Saints. I love the Saints and I like the Browns, but I love the Ravens and like the Rams. I mean, what the hell do I know? What do you think about these games, Breech?
I think that I like the home teams to sweep the divisional round, as crazy as that sounds. I just think
to win the games, yes, I agree with you there, but not to sweep against the spread, right?
I'm on the fence. So, we pick scores when we make our picks. I pick the Chiefs to win by 8, and I pick my scores before I know what the point spread is, so that that doesn't influence me, so that I know what I'm thinking before Vegas tells me what I should think. And so the fact that I had it at 8 and then the spread ended up being 9.5 or 10, depending on where you're looking at, I just think the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points. And so it's about whether or not you think the Browns can keep up. So if you think the Browns can score 30 or 35 points, then bet the Browns. If you do not think the Browns can score in the 30s, then do not bet the Browns. And Saints Buccaneers, look, Saints beat them twice and they won both games handily.
Hold on. Sorry.
What? We got someone here.
What? Who's here?
We got a third person on the podcast.
Wilson! Bob.
We've been taking shots. Wilson.
What shots are you taking of?
Hey,
You know what?
I actually, you know what we should do? I should download Fish's Wilson for you so we can play it. Oh wait, I did that already.
Oh, we got someone listening from Quebec.
I've got it right here. Do you want to hear it for your little intro music? All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
If the Steelers lose at Cincinnati next week, Ryan Finley tattoo right here. I thought it was going to be Danny Dalton. At least it's a different drop.
Yeah. I didn't do that. So what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Go Riffic. Did you anyone?
I can't see Wilson. Take Simmonson's thing off.
What?
Oh, you know what I can do? I can unshare my screen. How about that?
Oh, there it is.
Twitch chat. Do you want us to go? So it's midnight, obviously. Do you want us to go over the gambling lines for tomorrow, or do you want us to just dive into the recap? What do you guys want?
Recap.
I know what you want. I'm not asking you. I'm asking the loyal podcast listeners who are in the Twitch chat.
Oh, yeah. Ask the lawyer. I don't listen to the podcast, so you should probably ask them.
That was Wilt Brinson's Tom Hanks impression from Castaway. Wilson! We can do that too. We got a whole compilation of Wilson.
Yeah, I've only been on this podcast for how many years now?
Oh, you got kicked off at one point.
Yeah, not kicked off, fired. You
got fired from the podcast. All right, Wilson, while I get some ice for my cocktail.
I got nothing.
You could have packed something. You've been there for 17 damn weeks. Start packing a cocktail to the office. I'd be rolling in with my laptop bag. People be like, why does this guy have a separate second bag? I would be like an unfolding with like a mixer and like a little like
he's got a suitcase that turns into a bar.
like I'd have like a flambe, like a gas blue torch.
You would wear your little. Did you ever watch Love Boat?
Nah, man.
No, super fun time. So Isaac was the bartender on Love Boat. I was gonna say you could play your little like tuxedo top, mixed drinks. And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Hold on. Before
go get your ice.
Back up. All right, Diva, throw this back up. Somebody in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna have a Mary Poppins style suitcase. Somebody asked what Nick. So first of all, by the way, I'll say this: Baker Mayfield over under 1.5 passing touchdowns tomorrow is -1. That over is a lock.
Feels like it.
1.5.
Yeah. You're gonna get a Baker Mayfield tattoo if he doesn't hit it.
No,
that's what we do with
I'm trying to scroll down on the wrong screen. And by the way, we'll be on at what time is this game? 3:05.
3:00 p.m.
on CBS. So we'll be on at 2:00 p.m.
CBS All Access too.
Yeah, you can watch it on CBS All Access. That's right. Rushing yards, Nick Chubb, 73.5, juiced to the under a little bit.
Game starts at 8:05 p.m. in London for our London dude. Just that'd help out.
35.5 over under passing attention for Baker Mayfield. I like that over too. I don't see how he gets away from throwing up.
Oh, and by the way, as Devo points out, you can watch The Love Boat on CBS All Access as well.
Oh, I made fun of Love Boat. It's on CBS.
All right, let's get this thing. Get what you need to get, and let's go. I got to try to get back to the hotel so they can give me a beer before they lock up that place.
Again, I can't stress this enough. If you packed your
I know, it's on me. I take full responsibility.
But it's not like you haven't been doing this for
months. The daytime staff knows me there really well. The overnight staff, I think, has to deal with crazy people walking in and out, so they're not one to pass out beers at 2:30 in the morning. So I have to. I'll just put my jacket on and I'll look like a businessman.
Oh, so in other words, you're saying like you show up and you're like, hey.
Well, I think the actual rule is they can't sell you alcohol out of the the little pantry up to the side when you walk in after midnight or something. Now
you have a fridge in your room?
Sometimes I bring it. Sometimes I bring beer from home. Sometimes I don't. I didn't this time. Like sometimes I'll just put like 2 beers in the fridge and I drink them when I can.
Yeah. But now I'm sure the listeners are wondering, the viewers are wondering, do you expense your beer when you buy it there?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Nobody, we're not even live right now. You can just tell us the truth.
No, I don't. I mean, no. I'm so anal retentive. You know, I did.
That's true. Fair enough.
When I got to bring dinners that are too expensive, I always just do the food part because I don't want someone calling me back saying, "Why did you expense 12 beers?"
Fair enough. Ask Breech, ask Wilson. Y'all discuss amongst.
I have a question for Breech. Did anyone fulfill my requirement about the William Mary Miami?
And I played the Fat Randy sound.
Yes.
All right, be right back.
Need a skinny Randy one now.
Funny you brought that up, Wilson, because it was a rough day for Miami of Ohio. Sean McVay lost.
Yep. Where did Matt LaFleur go to college?
Like Saginaw Valley State or something. Some weird college that
Michigan.
nobody you have ever met has gone to.
I think Saginaw's in Michigan, right?
That sounds right. And then obviously John Harbaugh.
Baby.
John Harbaugh lost your guy from William and Mary. It's just, you know what we were doing though? We were talking about the top 5 coaches. Well, first of all, I saw someone in the chat mention, I don't know where it is anymore, but they said, if you don't know where to get the tattoo yet, what about your head? Because you on your head?
I'm bald. What kind of sense does that make?
Right. Because you don't have hair. So it's a good, like, it's free space.
What are you talking about? People can see it if it's on my bald.
You don't want people to see it? You don't
my family tattoo?
Own it, Wilson. You need at least show that thing off.
Don't you own it?
And then, though, if you want to grow hair, if you ever get like hair plugs, you could cover the tattoo, and then nobody will see it.
That's a great idea. I'm surprised I didn't think of that sooner.
See? Oh my God, that was such a good idea.
By the way, all this passive aggressive breachness that you've had at various points this year, I cannot wait until the Steelers trade for Deshaun Watson. Cannot wait. So I can rub it in your face. How angry would you be? Because right now, if you're a Bengals fan, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing the Steelers in the bus break down out, and the cliff is 20 feet in front of them, and they are going over that cliff. Undoubtedly, the only way they're not going over the cliff is if Deshaun Watson in his Superman cape catches the bus right before it hits the bottom and goes and explodes into a million pieces.
And we just got to ask, where's Deshaun Watson getting traded? I think that you need like a forward-thinking general manager that's willing to like lay it all on the line. I feel like the 49ers could end up being his landing spot because if I'm them, I call up the Texans and I'm like, what do you want? We'll give it to you. We literally, cause you have a defense, you have a Super Bowl caliber defense. You just need that quarterback you can count on every week to stay healthy.
If I were the 49ers, I would offer 3 first-round picks and Nick Bosa. I'm not even kidding.
What about Jimmy? Can you throw Jimmy in the deal?
Oh,
He
yeah.
has another couple years on the contract, right?
Jimmy's going to drive the minivan that delivers Bosa to you.
And the 3 first-round picks. Yeah, so Garoppolo's under contract till 2022. So yeah, I throw Jimmy in and 3 first-rounders.
Not Nick Bosa?
Or what if you do Jimmy, Nick Bosa, and 2 first-rounders?
Jimmy's not part of it. Like, no one cares about Jimmy. He's fine. He's not like a...
Well, just so the Texans have a quarterback.
That's
they
fine.
have someone.
If I'm the Texans, I'm not taking less than 3 first-rounders.
And you know what? If you throw Nick Bosa in there, I think you could do it for 2 first-rounders. Because you're going to lose J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt's not going to be there much longer. You need someone who can rush the passer.
I always come back to this. Like, was Antonio Brown worth more than the 3rd-round pick? Absolutely. Antonio Brown, and we saw him at Macy's. Was that Macy's in Atlanta?
We did.
It was quite clear that he was going to do everything in his power to get out from playing for the Steelers and sabotage his way out of town. I don't think Deshaun will do that. He seems more together, for lack of a better medical phrase, explaining what the way AB seemed at the time. But his value could come down, is my point. It may not. I mean, he's worth 3 first-round picks in Nick Bosa, but you may be able to get him for less than that, depending on how badly he wants out of Houston.
Well, I mean, what if he doesn't show up for spring workouts? What if he says, I'm not going to show up for training? It's your quarterback. You need your quarterback there. If he starts not showing up for things, you have to trade him. He has more
leverage than Drew Brees, Tom Brady, maybe not Aaron Rodgers. But it might be Aaron Rodgers 1, Patrick Mahomes 1, Aaron Rodgers 2, and I think Deshaun Watson 3.
What was that question?
The 3 players with the most leverage in the NFL, like Mahomes, Rodgers, and Deshaun Watson. Like if Brady or Brees said, I'm not coming to work tomorrow, they'd be like, that's fine. no problem.
We'll move on.
Where do you think Deshaun Watson's getting traded?
I was just laughing at Breech. I said,
sorry, make some more ice and tinkle.
What?
As I said, sorry it took so long. I had to make some more ice.
You said you have to go do that again. I was making fun of Breech because I said, you know how you passive aggressively at points this season took shots at the Steelers? What are you going to do when they trade for Deshaun Watson? You thought the Steelers were going to be a 2-win team next year, and they have Deshaun freaking Watson.
Have you read the Jenny Vrentas article yet?
I read Jenny's article, and I meant to ask
The
Debo.
one from today.
Yes, let me finish. I read that, and it was a bombshell. And then I was going to ask Debo if he read the one from Jeff McClain about the poop show that is the Philadelphia Eagles, starring Carson Wentz.
Oh boy, this guy can't stop jamming himself.
What if they just do Deshaun Watson for Carson Wentz straight up?
Debo would be fine with that.
I'm just kidding. Debo, turn your camera on. I love having Debo on.
No camera. No camera.
Like,
No Prisco. No Prisco.
no Briscoe. I can't tell that story.
No, Ryan, I didn't set aside like the necessary 3 hours
It
to
is long.
read McLean. So I'm gonna, maybe some Sunday reading, but I've read all about what McLean wrote.
How did it go over in Eagles world?
As you would expect.
Okay. Yeah.
Twitter-
So McLean is typically considered a good beat reporter from Eagles fans' perspective, or no?
Yes, and there's some pretty clear ties to the front office, and he's always the one getting the scoops first.
Jeff, I know Jeff. I mean,
Here we go.
I'm not gonna see this.
Here we
I
go.
don't even want to say it. I know Jeff pretty well. I mean, like, Jeff and I have like. I mean, I'm not.
I know, but what's the point of your story?
Jeff knows. Jeff is not. He's not. No offense to Manish, but he's not
No
pulling.
one called him a niche.
Manish had some rough run at Daily News.
Of course he did. No one's saying that Jeff is that.
No, I'm just saying Jeff is tied in. Jeff
Some
is
people just
professional, and Jeff does a good job.
Yeah, Debo didn't say any of it. He didn't dispute any of that. I just asked him how do Eagles fans feel about him because I know plenty of Steelers fans that hate the Steelers beat reporters who do good jobs.
Yeah, but I don't think Jeff. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think Jeff.
He does not have an agenda like Manish.
He does
No.
not blow which way the wind blows. Jeff
No.
does his job and is good at his job. Debo, you know what? I already added it to my list over here. Comprehensive, detailed list of things I want to do in the off season, goals we want to achieve, etc. Let's get Jeff McClain on for the podcast.
Hey, where are your blue blockers, by the way? I saw you doing the live show earlier.
They're right here. You want me to put them on?
I was like, that guy's trying to look much smarter than he actually is. Look at this nerd.
I like them. I forgot about.
You look smart. That's the whole point of wearing glasses, dude.
I'm not trying to look smart. I'm trying to reduce the other Debo's right. Like the nicer they are, though.
Someone in the comment section threw out Deshaun to the Dolphins. They've got the draft ammo.
Chris Greer just said that they're sticking with Tua.
Yeah, I mean that's what you would say right before you're going to trade for Deshaun Watson.
That's true.
I'll say this about that trade though. Like if you're the Dolphins, or if you're the Texans and you gave up that third pick, do you really want to like give up your quarterback to get it back? Because you already feel like it's yours. Like
that would be totally draft day where he trades his pick away, then gets it back with a couple better picks.
the team I think that and I don't is the glare too bad for these? What do you think?
No one cares.
I'm trying to improve my lifestyle, man. I mean, I've been staring. Why are these things not a thing before 2020, 20 and 21?
Because no one knew what blue light was.
Debo was wearing them.
I've been staring at a screen. Like I'm already petrified about having like a laptop on my crotch for 10 years, staring at a screen for 10 years. You don't think like you don't think a laptop on your lap is a concern, Ryan, for your,
Dude, I had a vasectomy. I don't care.
I'm not worried about it. Like,
I'll put it because I literally I have a folder on my lap to put on my laptop, so there's something in the way. I do not like the thought of.
You know what? When I microwave my Hot Pockets, I put the microwave on my lap before I turn it on. That's how little I care about having another kid.
The funny part of that is that you eat Hot Pockets.
Right.
I mean, I think I have concerns about microwaves. Like, I think if you think about it, you're like, let's just throw this in the microwave. And Adam Azer got in my head, and it's really annoying because Azer's takes are always awful. He's like, the one thing you can't do is microwave is use plastic in the dishwasher. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, if you heat up plastic, it activates all kinds of dangerous chemicals.
Put it on the top shelf. Don't put it on the bottom shelf.
I eat plastic.
What?
So
The bottom shelf of the dishwasher is much.
No. What are you? Whoa! What is this? Hold on. Don't get down. I need a picture. YouTube profile. Why does
I love it.
the Echo? Why does Muso have a YouTube profile?
Muso broke our podcast.
All right, I'll come back. This is for this.
No, we can't hear you, Will.
Is the Echo fixed?
No.
Working on it. Let us know in the chat if you still hear the echo. Or was it Brinson, like always?
You're good. I'm
I hear a lot of echoes.
Will
Oh, you're
still echoing.
Breech, Ryan, can you
Test.
hop out and hop back in?
Yes. Bye, guys. I might come back.
I don't hear an echo now.
We're figuring. So what's your decision on the glasses?
I like it. I mean, first of all, I think I look pretty good in glasses.
Yeah, better than normal.
Thanks, Steve. My wife said I look good. I might be a glasses guy. Although, I mean, like these, I'm gonna upgrade. Costos told me he spent an obscene amount of money on his glasses.
That's
Like, Wilson, how much are your glasses? How much do your glasses cost?
I get them through Warby Parker, and we have health insurance. So
Well.
they don't cost me anything.
Wait, what?
My health insurance pays for the glasses.
Ooh, I wonder if I can get blue light glasses through our eye insurance.
I don't know if they cover blue light. Do
I mean, one would think so. You're trying to my company makes me stare at a screen 10 hours a day with all the work I do for this company.
10 hours a day. It's like 2 hours a day, Brinson.
Yeah, let's be real.
Well, first of all, I haven't we're about to do an hour podcast and we've already done 90 minutes. So
We are 90 minutes in. My goodness.
Yeah.
Is this the actual podcast or we're just, yeah, exactly, work, quote unquote?
I mean, you should have packed your drinks. I did. The problem is I have 20/20 vision and it like annoys my head to have, my whole family has terrible, these things are like total crap. I mean, they're work. Yeah. They're very
Why would you
plastic.
get glasses then?
What?
Why would you pay for glasses if you have 20/20 vision?
Because they're blue. They're
Blue light glasses.
blue light glasses.
I thought you meant you might get real glasses.
I'm gonna get nice blue light glasses.
Oh, they make nicer one. I mean, aren't they just something the whole idea is just that they block the blue light? Or they,
No. So Ryan, I was telling Will that you can see a lot of reflection in the ones that are like $16 and then a little bit.
Gotcha. So
We're not seeing all of Will Brinson's tabs that he has open on his computer.
My TVs.
If you-
My 2 lights, my 3 TVs. I gotta watch. I'll cut off.
No, you don't have to trust me. I'm okay. I know how reflections work.
I'll just cut off the TVs. And it'll be less.
Brinson, you're gonna get a weighted blanket next.
What's the deal with weighted blankets? I don't really understand that.
They
My
cut down your
9-year-old
anxiety and they help you fall asleep.
has a weighted blanket. He loves like being weighted down. It's funny.
I do feel like these glasses make me feel a little less a-holy. Like I feel like I can get away with a little bit more with these glasses on.
How do you need to get away with more? You need to get away with less.
Need to get away with more.
You wear a monocle. That would make you get away with less.
My wife said I looked hot in glasses, so probably gonna buy some.
Your wife clearly has made some poor decisions in the course of her adult life. So I don't know if
Well, yeah, we're here, aren't we?
that's what I'm talking about specifically.
Yes, I mean she made one very poor decision. It's cascaded on her face.
I wish I could. I hope an earthquake hits your house and knocks that glass out of your hand. I'm so thirsty right now.
Oh, I actually have an extra glass here if you want it.
Did Breech forget to pay the heat? Why is he wearing 4 layers?
What did you just listen? Because you literally said you already know the explanation.
Ooh,
You know,
I want to know how many layers I'm wearing.
most new TVs and monitors have warmth settings where you can adjust it to lower levels of blue light for sure. Like,
Your cell phone does. You
hold
can
on,
turn the
I don't go dark mode 24/7. Debo, you're young, cool. Do you go dark mode 24/7 on your phone?
I'm gonna say like half the apps that you can apply it to. I'm not consistent though.
I have it set so it, in my MacBook changes over at 6 o'clock. I don't know what you're doing.
My phone has a button that says blue light filter.
They're so crappy.
Did you know that before right now? Breach?
No, I did know it because I turned it off and turned it on.
Does iPhones have those?
Probably not because they're trash. which is like everyone should have a Samsung.
By the way, Breech offered to pay me $32.
Not to wear that hat.
Well, I won so
No,
much money
if
when
I
I
would-
compared
I would-
to you
if I would-
that I
if I would
wouldn't
delay
feel
the
bad.
podcast until 12:30. He said it was out of disdain for the Steelers. He's like, if you can keep this podcast from starting until 12:30, I'll give you $32.
Well,
$3
one,
for 12:30, and then $2 for each win the Steelers had over the Bengals. Oh no, wait, $1 for each win over the
William Mary 1, Miami 0. That's all I'll say. What was Dick? I know I've asked. What was Dick yelling about?
Dunkaroo. I love Dunkaroos.
Also, Ryan, you missed it. We decided we're going to have Kevin Harlan on the podcast this offseason.
Does Kevin know about this?
I can't deal with these glasses. They're
Frisco.
Shout out to F. Valtiera, who is on Team Samsung. Not everyone has iPhones, guys. The real people out there, they use Samsung. You guys are living in your poosty world of
What?
iPhones.
word? Hold on. Sorry, what was that word?
You're part of
Poosty?
poosty, yeah.
I mean, this guy's clearly not.
You'll
From,
have to expound on
he is not from this planet. The thing this person comes out of this man's mouth makes zero sense.
how would you spell Poosty?
He doesn't know.
What is? I mean, I
It doesn't mean anything. It's just some
You mean
random
Tuesday?
robot word.
Poosty? I'm with Sea Panther 7. I got one of my good friends, Nathan. So like I've had in my life, my brother has an Android, Breech has a Samsung, and my buddy Nathan, I'm on a couple of text threads, like a real life friend, had a green text. It's hell on earth. I had like 4 threads, maybe, that were all blue. And Nathan just switched to an iPhone. It's a game changer. So Breech, if you could kindly grow up. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, I'm not gonna let you off the hook. What's Poosty again?
Yeah, which
You
way?
can Google it.
Bougie?
That also works.
So this question from DMark:
Bougie.
which way does Breech's vocabulary go with a few drinks? He gets happier. He doesn't make doesn't make any more sense.
Whoa. Okay, I got this is a surprising twist. Poosty, according to urbandictionary.com, means a stuck-up or snobby person.
Up high, down hard.
He didn't even know that. Look how surprised he is.
You think I just randomly use that word on the podcast?
100%.
That's, what an iPhone person would say. I don't know about the word I use because you are poosty. Boom.
Chandra and her new Gucci purse. How could I not? She kept on shoving it in my face. Damn, that bee is so poosty.
All right, let's go. Please.
That's the freaking sign.
Yeah.
This podcast.
2 games. It's going to take us 4 hours to talk about 2 games.
All right.
All right.
Can I podcast in the dark? It's so
Yeah, why not?
No, it's so creepy. If I turn off the lights in here, it's so creepy.
It's Pick 6 After Dark with Will Brinson.
It's
Ryan
like we're
Wilson.
doing like, old school ham radio. That's what it is. All right, let's go. Go.
No, we got 10 more minutes before we start.
All right, I'm going back to the hotel.
Wilson's going to go home if
You
you
can podcast from the hotel. Nobody would care.
No, I'm going back at the hotel and taking a nap.
and not signing back on. That I got to message Wilson.
Thank you.
Your usual pay-per-view, Mr. Wilson? Yes. Sir.
I don't think you can pay per view anymore at hotels. Not from lack of trying.
All right. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pick 6 Podcast, CBS Sports Daily NFL Podcast. I'm Will Brinson. I'm your host. It is Sunday, January 17th, and we have 2 more divisional round games to go because we are 2 in. We know 2 of the finalists in the championship games. The Buffalo Bills are headed back to the AFC Championship game with a victory over the Baltimore Ravens, and the Green Bay Packers are headed to their second consecutive NFC Championship game with a victory over the Rams. To break it all down with me, the best in the business, Ryan Wilson and John Breech. What's up, guys?
Oh, you almost got first billing, Breech. Sorry, sucker.
You know what? I haven't filed a single complaint about never getting first billing, even though I spend an hour and a half with Brinson before you even show up, Wilson. I should get like 5 raises and 6 bonuses for that, and I can't even get first billing. You know what? I'm not going to complain, though, because I'm happy right now.
Yeah, the Bengals losers.
Wilson and I have been podcasting since before I started dating my wife.
2008.
So since like 3 years ago.
No, he has a
No,
7.
just-
Do the math.
Dating my wife the second time. For those who don't know, I dated my wife in college. We broke up for 6 years, got back together, and then
the tale as old as time.
you
Song
know,
as old
you're
as
really
rhyme.
stupid.
Beauty and the
You
Beast.
dated me twice.
I was gonna say, what was she thinking?
Living in Winston-Salem. We were, in fact, we had Clay Travis on our podcast.
No, we sure did.
Podcast. We had Mike Lombardi.
Mike Lombardi. No, we didn't. He hung up on us.
Oh, that's right.
He called him. He
stood
told us
up.
to call him, and
And then we had Doug Gottlieb, who was our former colleague,
He was great.
now at Fox Sports Radio, who was then at ESPN.
He was great.
Great. Love Doug.
He was great on the podcast. Like, he went out of his way to be nice to 3 goobers that had no business bothering.
My first time on TV was on the show with Gottlieb and Ali LaForce. I had never been on actual real
God.
TV.
I forgot about that show.
I don't freak out much, but I was so freaked out, and they kind of held my hand through, so it was nice.
What was that show called?
It started at midnight on CBS
They
Sports.
both hosted it. I don't know what it was called.
It
I
was
can't
on the
remember.
West Coast, is why I started so late. God, I forgot about that, Breach. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I was going to point out Gottlieb. So Doug,
It was the lead off.
we're doing a March Madness house cast, and Doug, we're on the podcast with him, and Wilson was actually not even doing.
I was the Devo. I was producing.
You were producing. It was me and MDS, Michael David Smith, who's at Pro Football Talk now. We're doing the podcast, and we're asking him questions. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I have to do a Sports Center hit." We're like, "Okay," and he's like, "I'm just gonna put my phone down. I'll be back in 5 minutes." We're like, "What? That's insane." And I looked up at the TV because I was in a conference room and I had a day job. I was in a conference room, and you look up and Doug Gottlieb walks out on the ESPN set and does the Sports Center set and does like a hit on March Madness. And then they in the hit, he walks off. He's like, "Hey, sorry about that." We're like, well, "That was insane." So anyway, football happened. Nobody cares about this crap. Divisional round Saturday. Not a I don't know. Not a it was an entertaining Saturday, but there was no barn burner. There was no wild finish. We had the Bills beat the Ravens 17-3. The Bills covered. The under obviously hit. The win was a major factor that people didn't anticipate in terms of setting the line. It closed at 49.5. The second half over under was 23.
I hit the over both times.
What's that?
I was on the over before the game, and I said, I'm going to double down on the over at halftime. So, yay me.
How do you do halftime bets?
We do a halftime show. We basically talk to
I know
Kenny.
you do, but they ask you, like, what's your favorite bet at halftime?
Well, they asked me that. EK asked me that. Yes. And I said, well, I'm going to double down on the 50. So I went with 29.5.
A lot of people actually like the over, and it could have easily hit if, the Ravens should have scored a touchdown. They lost their starting quarterback for the fourth quarter, and Tyler Bass missed a pretty easily makeable field goal.
There's 2 of them.
Okay, there you go. Were the Ravens the better team this game? Because the people on Twitch,
No.
and by the way, if you want to watch this podcast being made live, you can do so. Thank you, by the way. Somebody pointed out that's quite romantic about me and my wife in the Twitch chat. You can do so twitch.tv/CBS Sports HQ. Go there, subscribe, or go to youtube.com and search, or the YouTube app and search for Pick Six Podcast. We are live. We're live on Sunday night, and we're also live at 2 p.m. to preview the games from a DFS and gambling perspective. So, Wilson, I'll ask you this. Were the Ravens the better team in this game?
No, I don't know why anyone would think they were.
Okay.
How dare you? No. Lamar Jackson didn't outplay Josh Allen. The Bills defense and Leslie Frazier, the defense coordinator, did a really good job of bottling up the run game. J.K. Dobbins had a few runs, but nothing to change the complexion of the game early on. And then in the second half, Lamar made a terrible throw, and then the ball was snapped over his head, and he got concussed. In between that, there were a lot of weird snaps coming from the Ravens. Mishandled, bobbled snaps by Lamar, snaps down by his feet, one over his head, of course. And I thought that Josh Allen played with a lot of composure. It was weird. He kept pushing the ball down the field. I mean, he overthrew, I don't know if it was John Brown or Steph Diggs. He overthrew someone early that would have been a touchdown. Again, the win, I'm sure, had a ton to do with that. And then, of course, Tyler Huntley missed whoever that was.
Marquise Brown.
Hollywood Brown, yeah, late. And I don't really fault either of those quarterbacks. The conditions were incredibly tough. But if you're asking me which team was better, it didn't come down to special teams. I mean, Breech, both kickers, and one of them's a Hall of Famer. In my mind, they combined to miss 4 field goals.
It's funny because I feel like Brinson is trying to push the
actually, you know what? I'm not even trying to push that. I was sort of flustered and reading off
the Ravens put up more offensive yards, so maybe they did play better. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I feel like
hold on, before you go, Debo put that in the rundown. So maybe it's Debo pushing this losers narrative.
Well, I think Debo put it in the rundown because we spent 30 minutes. You had your bet and you spent 30 minutes talking about it during our pre-chat podcast. But I will say this. I feel like it was like, if I had to rank percentages, the Bills 53% to 47%. They were 6% better. Like, I think it was really close.
Yeah, that's fine.
You look at what the Ravens did. They got inside the Buffalo's 20-yard line 3 times in this game and only came away with 3 points. It's one thing if you get like 3 field goals, all that, and come away with 9 points. They came away with 3 points. You can't get inside someone's 20-yard line and only come away with 3 points when you do it 3 times. And so that was the big difference. And Justin Tucker, we talked about Tyler Bass's two misses. I think you throw out the second miss because it was so late in the game, it didn't matter. Justin Tucker.
Let me interrupt you, though. It matters for Tyler Bass, a rookie, who's going to have to make a big kick next week, perhaps, right?
Yeah, I don't think it does because it
Really?
meaning it was 17-3. He hit the clutch field goal that they needed.
That win was crazy, man.
He hit a 54. He set the rookie record for longest kick in the playoffs last week.
Brinson sounds like Jeff Spicoli falling out of his van. That win was crazy, man.
Well, Tyler Bass is going to go in the locker room tonight. He's like, I set a rookie record last week, and the world's greatest kicker, Justin Tucker, also missed 2 field goals. So I'm not even going to worry about this game. That's what you're thinking for Tyler Bass.
Is Justin Tucker a fraud?
Let me ask you this: It's Justin Tucker a fraud? Maybe. Breech. You know what this game reminds me of a little bit? The Titans-Ravens game from last year.
Were you? Well, I would a little bit. Yeah, I could see that.
1-4 in the red zone last year for the Ravens, and they're aggressive. You know, they're 0-4 on 4th down. They got some 4th downs in this spot.
That was the difference last year is that Harbaugh got aggressive on 4th down. They didn't hit it, and then they'd give the ball to the Titans, and the Titans would score. In this instance, instead of being aggressive on 4th down, they were kicking the field goals, and Tucker was missing.
4th down. They were 0-2 this year.
If Tucker makes those 2 field goals in the first half, Baltimore's up 9-3. At halftime, and if you're up 9-3, it's a completely different game. So it was a close game, and again, it was kind of similar to the Titans game in the sense that it was like you could switch 2 or 3 plays and say Baltimore could have won if those went a different way. You know, it's not where you're looking at like 10 or 15 plays, and if all this would have happened differently, you can literally point to 1, 2, or 3 plays. Obviously, the pick 6, Tucker's missed field goals, and say if those would have gone another way, then Baltimore wins. And if you can point to just 1, 2, or 3 plays, then it was an even game.
Yeah, and look, Tyler Huntley, who everyone knows, 22-year-old rookie quarterback. Is he a rookie? I don't even know. I mean,
maybe.
Yeah, from Utah. He had more pass attempts in the 4th quarter, 13, than the Ravens had rush attempts in the second half, 11. And that includes, I mean, that's Edwards, Dobbins, and Jackson. And I'm not. So this is where I'm at on this game. I think it was an even game between 2 teams that that both can really have a monster day offensively, can have an up or down defensive game at times, and the Bills just simply outcoached the Ravens. Like, I think that's what happened. I mean, Brian Dable came in and said, we're not going to run the ball, we're going to pass. And he was expecting a ton of blitzes from Don Martindale. Don Martindale didn't blitz. And credit to you know, the chess match there, you know, and credit to Josh Allen for not making mistakes in the face of that coverage that they dropped. Meanwhile, the Bills got the ball run down their throats on the first drive. 12 plays, 46 yards, 52 yards total, including a penalty, 4 first downs. They get to the Buffalo 23. The Ravens are mauling the Bills in the run, and they go away from it a little bit and start passing, and then they end up settling for a field goal. They missed the field goal, and it really felt at that point that Leslie Frazier adjusted, and he started stacking the box and blitzing a bunch. And Greg Roman did not adjust and did not until the 3rd quarter in that first drive when they moved the ball, when he decided, like, if you're Greg Roman and you're the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, if you see Leslie Frazier stacking the box and sending blitzes 50% of the time, throw some quick hitters, dude. Like, what are you doing? Missed field goal, punt, and then field goal. They never went more than 60 yards on a drive the entire game. The Ravens didn't. I mean, it's a team that the offense have been cooking. I just think the Bills outcoached the Ravens. And I think that's sort of I think the Bills outcoached the Ravens, and the Bills got the breaks and made the plays when they needed to. And that's the bottom line here.
I think the Bills outplayed the Ravens. I think Josh Allen outplayed Lamar Jackson. I don't know if they get the breaks. They caught a terrible interception, and Lamar Jackson had the ball snapped over his head.
I mean, Josh Allen had a brutal fumble in the backfield, and the Bills recovered it. You know what I mean? It
wasn't a brutal fumble. He got hit. I mean, that happens every game to every quarterback. I mean, that
recovering fumbles is luck.
Okay.
I'm not saying the Ravens should have won. I think the Bills outcoached the Ravens. And that's
I don't think I think it's pretty close. I think the spread was right at 2.5 or whatever it was. And I think the game just came down to a couple bounces. One of the bounces was a terrible interception. The other one was
effing thing I just said.
Right. And you look at the Ravens, their second drive, they had a 3rd and 5. J.K. Dobbins dropped the easiest pass in the history of the world after Lamar Jackson did some crazy dancing around in the backfield to avoid a sack, scramble around, kept the play alive. Dobbins drops the easy first down. Dobbins dropped another pass that probably been a touchdown in the 4th quarter that would have cut the lead to 17-10.
And the play after that,
very least, very
the very next play, Mark Andrews dropped the touchdown in the end zone. So
right,
I mean,
it just felt like an even game. The Bills absolutely have been the better team all year, and I'm glad they won this game because I think they'll make for the better game next week. Because look, here's the thing is that, and I can't believe I'm saying this about Baltimore because the Bills opened the game by passing like 27 straight times. But the Ravens are just one-dimensional, and you can't win in the playoffs if you're one-dimensional. I know they say, hey, if you can run the ball in the playoffs, but you've eventually your quarterback has to be able to consistently throw the ball, and Lamar Jackson can't do that right now.
Go ahead. That's correct. I just think I did I don't think that I just think the weather mattered in this game.
Yeah, no one said it didn't. Who says it didn't matter?
I mean, the wind's a huge factor, and
it affects both teams though.
Of course.
So what are you getting at?
It's like the Bills had a monster passing game. Josh Allen had 206 passing yards.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't understand what's the point of the weather?
Well, I guess I look at this game and I don't think that I was wrong about how this game ended up. I thought it'd be a close game. I thought if the wind was bad, the Ravens could run the football effectively. And I think they did a poor job of adjusting to the Bills' defensive adjustments.
Yeah.
The counters from the Ravens offense were terrible. They didn't there were times when the Bills were blitzing and they would do the Enzo or the high end, like the spider cam angle. And you would see Lamar. This is not Lamar hesitant to pull on it. I think people said that. Now, in some cases, maybe it was, but in large part, it was the Ravens were trying to run these deeper routes, and it's just completely empty underneath. And if they're running shorter crossing routes, Lamar is dumping it off quickly. Like the play before the interception, Hollywood Brown is running wide open underneath, but the blocking was so bad for the Ravens that Jerry Hughes got in there, altered how Lamar was playing, was making the throw, and then he had to chunk one up. And so I don't pin this on Lamar's not ready for this kind of game. I think the weather was bad and the game script got out of hand.
One thing we talked about beforehand, though, Brinson, if Lamar just holds onto that ball and takes a sack instead of throwing that pick six, it's probably 10-6 because, look, Justin Tucker missed some field goals. He's not missing a 24-yarder.
You can't make that throw.
In the double coverage and give up 102-yard pick six or 101, the longest in NFL history in the playoffs.
Do you cut Justin Tucker?
Ryan, you do not cut Justin Tucker. If anything, you sign him to a lifetime contract for whatever amount of money he wants.
So you mentioned Lamar you can't make that throw. I agree with that. But also, as you touched on, J.K. Dobbins dropped 2 passes. One should have been a touchdown. Yeah. Mark Andrews dropped a touchdown. So there's plenty of blame to go around. I think Lamar's fine. He is who he is. Well, here's what he's not. He's not Josh Allen. Like, you cannot say go out there and throw the ball 30 times a game and win us a game with no running game around you. That's not going to happen. And I think Josh Allen, to his credit and to Peacock and Pete Prisco's credit, absolutely crushed it on that. I mean, he is a great player. And I don't suspect there'll be any regression. He's not going to, no offense, Steve, but Carson Wentz it up. I think he's going to be good.
Oh!
No, for real though. I can't envision how he would,
Josh Allen is an upper echelon young youth.
He's top 7, maybe higher.
If you're doing a, I mean, look, these things backfire on you badly because
true that.
If you're doing a draft if you're starting a franchise right now, I think Allen's number 2.
Hold on now.
Who's
Mahomes, Deshaun Watson?
Well, Mahomes is 1.
Joe Burrow.
Then Deshaun Watson.
You're taking Allen over Watson right now.
No, I'm not. You may.
Russell Wilson.
The leap that Josh Allen just made in his 3rd year is like, you look at this and you're like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
No, you take Allen over Watson right now.
No, I don't. You may. I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess you're not really good at drafting.
What are we doing?
Dixie Doo Dunkaroo.
I mean, look again. I'm not trying to make excuses for the Ravens. The Bills.
You sound like someone who bet on the Ravens, lost, and you're trying to justify your loss.
I probably sound like I did last week when I bet on the Colts and lost. It's probably the same. Look, the Bills were the Bills were a better team than the Ravens all year. They went into this game with a good game plan in a really tough environment. It was 3-3 at half, right?
Well, and that's the thing. The difference in this game, before you even get to the pick 6, is that the Bills came out of halftime on that opening drive, went straight down Baltimore's throat and scored a touchdown. And that was a fantastic drive. And you go up 10-3 in a game where no one can score, and that's enough to win. Like, they didn't even need the pick 6 because they won 10-3. If they just get an interception, return at the 50-yard line, the game's probably over anyway. Because
But now look, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for the Ravens. I'm just saying that these games are this type of game in this environment with 2 competitive elite teams. There is some fragility to it. It's going to swing on weird moments. To Breech's point, the Bills had 1 possession in the 3rd quarter. It was 11 plays, 66 yards, and they got Stephon Diggs on a 3-man. They had 3 receivers lined up in a stack on Josh Allen's left side. And the Ravens had 2 defenders. And there was a great play call. They converted some huge spots on that drive. The Ravens got the ball back. There were only 2 drives in the entire 3rd quarter. Ravens go 15 plays, 66 yards, get to Buffalo's 9. It's 3rd and goal at the 9, and Lamar throws the pick. And there's 101 yard interception return. Like, that's, I mean, if Andrews, was it the Andrews catch on 2nd down? No, that was the Tyler. What was the play? Oh, the play was 2nd down was Jerry Hughes coming in. Like, it's a game of, people say it's a game of,
thing took these improbable things because that's tied for the longest in history. You look at Justin Tucker's missed field goals. He had never missed a field goal under 50 yards in the playoffs in his career. Yeah. And he missed 2 in this game. So those are the things that you think about. And he had never missed 2 field goals under 50 yards in a game in his entire career, regular season included. So just those odd things, like the crazy things.
Let me state this unequivocally. The Bills are great. Sean McDermott over the last 2 weeks, by virtue of his pregame and in-game coaching and adjustments, has probably won the Bills 2 games in which their opponents have come in and 2 really difficult. The Colts and the Ravens are really good football teams. They have won these games on the heels of Sean McDermott making adjustments, not making mistakes, and this team sort of finding a way to make plays. I mean, I don't know what Buffalo's Super Bowl odds are. They're in the AFC Championship. It's probably not great, like 3-1. But man, I mean, it sort of feels like they have a little bit of team of destiny to them right now.
Yeah. I mean, their point differential is better. Them and the Ravens have the best point differential over the last 6 weeks or so, I think, of the season. And the team that they may face next week, we'll see. The Chiefs, I've been saying it for 2 months now. They won every game by 1 score going back 2 months. And then before that, their only double-digit win was against the Jets. And they should have lost to the Falcons in Week 16. So Andy Reid off the bye is the sort of great equalizer. We'll see. But no team is playing better football right now than the Bills, I feel like.
All right, so Wilson, who would the Bills rather see next week, the Chiefs or the Browns?
Well, you say the Browns, and then they show up in Pittsburgh and beat the crap out of you.
I know.
So if they play the
That's
Browns,
like
the game
saying, who would you rather go on a blind date with, Kate Upton or Honey Boo Boo's mom?
Honey Boo Boo. The thing about the Browns game, it'll be in Buffalo, which would be cool. They actually had 6,700 fans there, with the most fans they've had all year, because they haven't had any fans, I think, until that game. And but I don't think they care about going to Kansas City.
Over under average. What's the phrase for your alcohol blood content? ABV.
BAC.
Your average BAC for the Bills fans, they're at 1.35. What do you think?
Way over.
Oh yeah, double.
0.08 is.
You want a fun fact, guys? The last time the Buffalo Bills made the AFC title game in the 1993 season, they played the Kansas City Chiefs.
By the way, there's nothing worse than making like an ABC joke or an ABV or BAC joke on Twitter, and then like somebody like sends you one that like PFT commenter made that's way better. He said that he's the Bills fans are the 0.12 man, or like, you know, not the 12th man, but the point. Okay,
that's pretty good.
Nothing lands better than a joke with Wilson. What do you say? I found $20.
And you found $20.
Okay, so tomorrow or today, I guess if people are listening today, actually it is right now. The Chiefs and Browns are playing 3:00 on CBS. Make sure and tune into that, and don't forget to watch the NFL Today on CBS. CBS before that with our buddy Jason Lockenfora. Jim Rome. We'll add Jim Rome to the list of guys we're going to go on the podcast this all season 2, Debo. I think Jim would do it.
I would just like to note that Wilson picked the Bills to win straight up.
No, you guys didn't do that?
I did. Brinson did not.
Ooh.
Oh, so that was a dunking on me? You want to dunk?
No dunk. I just
Oh, we missed.
Whoops, wrong button. So it's either it's probably the Chiefs, but it could be the Browns. I mean, it's the Bills in the AFC Championship game. To suggest the Browns cannot get there with them would be crazy. What do we think about this matchup for the Bills? Wilson, we said the line would be this is a pretty wild swing. We said Chiefs minus, what do we say, Breech? Chiefs minus 5 against the Bills.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 over under 56 or 57, like it is tomorrow or today. And then for the Browns, Bills minus 7 over under 53.
I think it'd be close to the Chiefs line, like 8.5, 9 for Bills. Bills are playing well, and I'm banging the Bills.
It used to be 8.
Yeah, I mean the Bills' offense
scoring
a ton more points than the Chiefs.
I'm sorry. You're saying the Chiefs would be minus 8 against the Bills?
No.
The Bills would be minus 8 against the Browns.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. If it's 4.5, Chiefs giving Bills, I like the Bills there.
I think I'm taking the Bills either way.
But like I said, I mean, I keep saying the same thing. The Chiefs win by 1 score, and the Bills lead the NFL in point differential over the last month and a half.
And when the Bills and Chiefs played earlier this season, it was 23-17 in the fourth quarter before the Chiefs iced it.
And worth noting, that was on the tail end of playing that stupid Tuesday game they had to rearrange for the Titans.
And then they had to play on a Monday because they rescheduled that game. The Chiefs-Bills game was supposed to be on a Thursday, got moved to a Monday. AFC Championship game's not being moved.
2 of the Bills' 3 losses, and the other one was the Hail Mary. Like the Bills are not that far off a 16-0 season. Like if you want to give them like a break,
they should get like the COVID-19 16-0 medal.
Yeah.
Because they went 13-0 when I guess they lost the Hail Mary. They went 12-1 when they played regularly scheduled games.
Pretty good participation trophy.
Gonna get the Lombardi trophy too. Only 2 games away, Brinson.
Those might hoist it, man. I wouldn't rule him out. Okay. Anything else on this matchup?
Nope.
Wilson, do you want to talk about it for a little bit more?
Maybe we can, but
I'm just going to say we'll talk about the NFC game from Saturday. All right. So the Rams, good job, good effort, guys. That's really how I feel about their matchup against the Packers. They went in and tried hard against Green Bay. Packers, though, won 32-18. Packers minus 7 covered. The over 45 hit. Did you ever? So I did this like FFPC league, which is like a it's a playoff fantasy league.
Okay.
With a couple buddies, and I can't remember what it was. The Rams had just scored, and my buddy Nathan texted the group thread. He's like, "All right, let's see if we get some Devontae Adams garbage time." It's like it's a 7-point game, dude. Like, oh yeah, so it is. The Rams are only down 7 to the Packers. I guess that's sort of it. Never felt like the Packers are in any real danger, right?
Well, Brinson, it's funny you said, because I was just thinking, so both games were 14-point games, and who did you feel like was closer? And I feel like the Rams were in the second half. Once the Bills scored that touchdown in the first drive of the third quarter, I thought the game was over. The Bills were winning. And then obviously after the pick 6, it was 100% over. There was no way the Ravens were coming back. With this game, so the Rams went straight down, scored that touchdown, got the 2-point conversion on that crazy hook and lateral, cut it 25-18. Then they went out and they forced the Packers punt. And so all of a sudden it's 25-18. The Rams had the ball. And I was like, they could win this game. Like after Aaron Donald's playing injured, Cooper Kupp's not out there. Jared Goff's thumb is like barely operable. And this team could win, is playing at Green Bay. They're a 7-point underdog, down a touchdown, and they have the ball in the fourth quarter. I thought the Rams played a lot better than I think most people thought they were going to.
They played a ton better, but at no point, I'm like your buddy Nathan did, I think they're going to win. It felt to me like the Saints-Bears game. Like last week, they were it was like a warm-up. And Aaron Rodgers was, I described him on HQ as feeling like it was cruise control for Aaron Rodgers. He just had it on the freeway. He set it at 74. He's like, yeah, let's see what happens. At no point did he look threatened. At no point did Devontae Adams look threatened. Aaron Jones played really well. I give Jared Goff a ton of credit. And this is the infuriating thing about Jared Goff. You do not know which Jared Goff is going to show up. He played not one of his best games of the year, but given the circumstances and there was a little weather, not a lot, but
21 of 27 for 174 yards and a touchdown,
and doing it without Cooper Kupp. So, I mean, yeah, it's extremely frustrating, but it's also a good sign that he's capable of doing that. But at no point did I feel like the Rams were going to win that game.
I didn't either. It was weird because I had the Packers, as I mentioned, that teaser that obviously died with the Ravens not covering, but you got the Packers -1 or -0.5 a point, and they're up 7, and the Rams.
You did that teaser to pick them +8.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough. Thanks, Mark Andrews.
Yeah. No kidding.
But it's like you think you're like, all right, I should be freaking out that the Rams had the ball down 7, and it just never. Yeah. It never felt that nervous because the Rams just weren't that explosive on offense. No Cooper Kupp. I thought Bill Barnwell had a good point on Twitter talking about it where, the Rams are so top heavy with their roster construction with Goff and Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp. I guess you throw Woods in there. So you got like seven stars. And if you're missing 3 of them to injury,
that's
or 2 of them, you're missing 2 to injury, and then or you're missing 1 to injury and 2 are like not 100%. It's pretty tough to win a bunch of football games.
And by the way, they're in worse shape than just about every team in the league, except for maybe the Texans. Salary cap space is a huge issue. They have like 4 draft picks, so they're not going to be able to magically reload. They're sort of stuck with what they have.
Yeah, I mean, what they have is fine. The Goff thing is being undersold because of Wentz, I think, to a degree.
Undersold? What? How?
Well, just nobody's really freaking out about how Jared Goff isn't that good.
He played great. That's why. Like, this is it's frustrating. Like, right. At no point this year did Carson Wentz play that game
Yeah, but like, so in that game, there were 2 or 3 moments where Goff would get pressured. And I'm not trying to compare him to Aaron Rodgers, but like Aaron Rodgers in the end zone is getting pressured on 3rd down. And he's like calmly steps right, steps in, and whips the ball. And I get that Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it's unfair to compare Jared Goff to him, but they both went to Cal, both 1st-round picks. He's supposed to be a franchise quarterback. And like Goff gets pressured, and he's like one of those inflatable signs at a car dealership where he's like, and then like collapses to the side. And it's just night and day. And I understand this is his 3rd year and Rodgers had time to wait and learn, but I mean, that's just the difference. When you have like Aaron Rodgers is
it's his 5th year, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, because he's already got his new contract.
Yeah. Goff has been around forever.
What am I talking about? 3rd year. I don't know. It's
He's a 15 to 20 quarterback. I mean, that's what he is. He's not
even worse. This is 5th year. I don't know why I think it's not Jared Goff's 3rd year. Obviously, he wouldn't even be eligible for a contract after his 3rd year. In his 3rd year. My point being is that like Rodgers, there's a couple quarterbacks in the NFL who elevate the people around you, and I don't think Goff is one of those guys.
Weird thing to say on the game he played today. I thought he played fine on Saturday.
Considering the circumstances, I don't think Ryan was completely out of place saying he played one of his best games of the season when you consider that they were underhanded with Cooper Kupp out when he had injured thumb and he came out on fire. I think he completed 9 of his first 10 passes. And we thought Goff was going to be the weak link here. Right. And really, I mean, like the Rams defense.
So to be clear, you're like, let's go all in on Goff. We're good. Don't worry about it. This isn't a problem.
They can't. They don't have any salary cap space to fix anything. They're stuck with this guy.
And I think that is part of what Sean McVay.
We're murdering the Eagles for this. Why is no one killing the Rams for this?
Wait, what? I think Jared Goff is a better year than Carson Wentz.
Do you think the Rams are in good shape because of the Carson Wentz, or because of the Jared Goff contract?
They are not, but Sean McVay has gotten them to 9 wins or more every year, and that's the difference. That they have the Rams,
and they just beat the Seahawks in the playoffs.
Right? Like, what are you? Wow. You can get rid of Jared Goff. Like Sean McVay would, I think he would take he would take a different quarterback in a second. I think he would have played John Wolford this week if Wolford was healthy, but he's stuck with Goff and he's winning with Goff. And so that is like, you're in a situation where you can't do anything. You can't get rid of Goff.
The Eagles fired their coach. I'm not.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But the Rams aren't firing McVay because he's the only reason they're winning right now. That's what I'm saying. So that's not an option. And getting rid of Goff isn't an option. So you're stuck.
I don't think that's a reason to prop up Jared Goff. Like, oh, congratulations, Jared Goff played great with the.
So you put him on the bench when he's at like a $60 million cap hit next year.
I don't think you bench him. I'm just saying that. Look, he played good in this game. He had 174 passing yards and a touchdown.
What are you whinging about?
You want a freaking golf clap? Or shall I say a golf clap? I just want. I don't even know where.
What do you? I don't understand your point with Carson Wentz. Like, what are you saying should happen?
Why does podcast evolve into my marriage? Where I don't know what we're arguing about.
Yeah, you just started going off on Goff after his Breech pointed out his best game of the year,
considering the circumstances.
Yeah,
I just think there's a stark difference between a team.
Of course, he's the definition of replacement level quarterback. That's what he is.
He's being paid like an elite quarterback.
That's the going rate for young quarterbacks. They had a decision to make. They made what could arguably be the wrong one.
I don't know. I just saw that game, and you see like Rodgers do the things he does when pressure happens.
Yeah, he's as you point out, a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, compare him to Carson Wentz. Compare him to
the Rams aren't here for hanging banners over playoff victories against the Seahawks. Like you're like, they beat the Seahawks in the playoffs. Thanks, Jim Irsay. Go throw a banner up in LA. Like
you're comparing him to Carson Wentz, who
right. Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson went 4-11-1 together. Sean McVay and Jared Goff just won a playoff game on the road against a division-winning team that was favored to win. So, like, if
I know you love McVay, but Jared Goff is not good this year.
No, I agree with that. If Rams had Deshaun Watson, they'd be in the Super Bowl. Like,
I started my comments by saying this is why Jared Goff is so infuriating. He plays well, and then as soon as
he had 20 touchdown passes this year.
Okay, he's infuriating, but he's not the reason they lost this game. Aaron Rodgers tried to throw 2 interceptions right before halftime. Packers shouldn't have gotten a field goal. You know, like, well, I'm saying that everybody makes bad throws. The Jared Goff was not the reason.
Jared Goff lost this game. 42 touchdown passes in the last 2 years. He has 1,000.
You're preaching to the choir on this. No one's trying to put Jared Goff in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe
I don't know why
you need to go to podcast counseling. I don't know. I mean, it's
crazy.
The Rams lost this game because they couldn't stop the run. They gave up 188 yards. I don't think they had given up more than 130 all season. Packers went 8 of 12 on third down. The Rams couldn't get off the field. It was just, look, Aaron Donald didn't play as much as he usually would. His ribs were injured. Their defense just wasn't that good. That's it. Like that.
And not only that, Aaron Rodgers, you mentioned the 2 interceptions he should have had at the end of the half. He had a couple other throws he missed, and then he had about 3 or 4 drops.
His interceptions in half are hilarious.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? They're like, I mean, yeah, they should have been picks by the Rams, but it's like they're like trying to get like no time left on the clock. They had 30 seconds on the clock when they got the ball. They're trying to get down the field to get a. It's like a borderline, like a semi Hail Mary. It's not like Rodgers
just throw the interception to kick a field goal, which is what they did. So,
well, you're right. Then the Rams would have lost 29-18, and then you could have a moral victory for Jared Goff. All right, Jared Goff stuff aside, I agree with you. I think the Rams defense gave up 30 plus points. If you told me before the game that the Rams defense gives up 30 plus points, I would have told you the Rams don't win, the Rams don't cover, because I didn't think the Rams were getting above 20. So I guess we're done here.
yeah, no, I mean, I think the Packers are fine. I was talking about Aaron Rodgers wasn't quote unquote sharp, but he was plenty good enough. He overthrew some guys in the first half, and then he overthrew Lazard in the second half. It didn't matter, but they had a couple drops, which was even more infuriating. He seemed to get after those guys. Then Lazard made that great catch. That was it. That was a wrap. Because at that point, Aaron Rodgers had 210 yards.
Yeah.
His over/under yard total was like 256 or something.
Yeah.
And that Lazard touchdown put him over.
And Brinson, the thing you were talking about, how Jared Goff looks like crazy flailing guy. A good example of that is when Aaron Rodgers had his 1-yard touchdown run. Jared Goff would have been sacked for a 5-yard loss on that play.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers totally faked the guy out with his the pump fake, and then got an easy 1-yard touchdown run. And that's the difference between a guy like Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff. Jared Goff's not going to do that. You're not going to get that from him. And, that play, that was all Aaron Rodgers. The 1-yard touchdown pass to Devontae Adams, that was a great play design by Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur, that was incredible. The motion.
Right. Where Jalen Ramsey got mad at his teammate, like, dude, you got to cover that. I can't, like, you're in my way. And then, you guys just mentioned the 58-yard touchdown pass. That was Rodgers' best throws. It was on it was a dime, and it didn't get dropped because they could have had a touchdown pass earlier. And those 3 plays are kind of just, that's what Green Bay does. Their offense can outcoach you. You have a quarterback that's going to outsmart you. And you have Devontae Adams, who is going to destroy your soul. So that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. And look, again, I preface the whole thing by saying it's unfair to compare him to Aaron Rodgers, but it just felt like
spent 10 minutes comparing them.
I'm just whatever.
It's like saying, look, I know Michael Jordan and Craig Elo both play basketball, but there's a reason Craig Elo sucks. Yeah, he's not Michael Jordan. We get it.
Whatever. Who do the Packers want to see?
They don't care.
They beat the Saints and they lost to the Bucks.
Yeah, that Bucks game feels like it was 10 years ago.
The Saints game feels like it was 40 years ago.
I think they want to see the Saints.
Why?
I think so too.
No, you guys are crazy. I think the Saints are fine. I think you don't mind playing Drew Brees outdoors. But I think Tom Brady's been whinging about the cold weather ever since he left New England. And I'm not sold on that Buccaneers defense. Like,
actually, I am going to say they want to see the Bucks.
The Saints defense gave up 37 points to the Packers. The Buccaneers gave up 10.
That Saints defense is really good, though.
So you're not wrong, Breech, obviously, because those are facts. But I think if you're looking at if you were charting, like if you did like a plot of like how you feel about these various defenses, the Buccaneers are like this. And the Saints are like this.
Yes.
The Saints are a much better defense right now. They would give the Packers fits because Alvin Kamara would give the Packers fits right now. And
I think the Packers beat whichever team comes up there, but I think the Buccaneers give them the best chance to win.
I think Aaron Rodgers will light up the Buccaneers defense.
I agree. And look, we all talked about it at the time, and it wasn't any big secret because everyone has eyeballs. Aaron Rodgers quit at halftime. He's like, I'm done. I'm not trying anymore. We're getting smoked.
He threw that pick 6. He's like, I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they would prefer the Bucks because the Bucks defense is very good against the run, but you can use Jamal Williams. Now, I mean, that's the only issue is like, does the Buccaneers defensive line create problems?
No. The answer is no.
Packers. I don't know. They might. I mean, like if the Packers can't run I don't know. I mean, Rodgers is playing awesome right now. I mean, he is locked in, and
that's the thing. It might not. Maybe it doesn't matter.
I mean, Wilson. We talked about this before you came on, but the potential Super Bowl matchup of Wilson, Wilson. Rodgers, Mahomes. I would
love.
so enticing.
I would love Josh Allen, Rodgers.
Sure. I think like the public concept, like after everyone has, the NFL fights its way through the season, forces it, like 16 games a pop, gets through the playoffs, and all of a sudden we have Rodgers, Mahomes. It's like Mahomes is going for his second one. Rodgers is going for his second one. And it's like, but Mahomes is doing it third year. And Rodgers is trying to cap off his career. And I don't know, like that. Oh man, that is enticing Super Bowl.
I'm down with that.
And it's right there, except for Baker Mayfield standing in the way.
I think Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady would get higher ratings.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
They can't play in the Super Bowl
in the NFC title game.
Well, I mean, I'll bet you any amount of money, and then I'll parlay it with me plus 12.5 in ping pong against you. That game won't do higher ratings than the Super Bowl because Super Bowl.
I'm just talking about the NFC title game.
I'll give you
Packers Saints or Packers Buccaneers.
Well, what's the line in me versus Breech in ping pong?
Oh, I can see. Brinson's good at ping pong because it's one of those like rich white kid games. But Breech may have had a ping pong table because his dad was a pro athlete.
What you to be a pro?
And Breech also played tennis in high school, right?
Claims he can run a 3-minute mile.
Oh, this is
3.5-hour marathon.
All right, so the line is I have to do a money line. Ooh,
No. We need a point line, like.
But I mean, you're doing like the points to 21. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So, like, if you think the score is going to be 21-10, me over Breech, you would set it at 9.5 or whatever.
Oh God, I think Breech is going to be sneaky. He probably cheats.
Oh, that's true.
I think the spread is actually.
You want to do a slice and hit it twice.
The spread might be it might be like Brinson -1. Like I don't know enough. Like I'm worried about.
Somebody in the chat was like Breech -12.5.
I was going to say,
that is insane.
No, they said Brinson would score 12, so Breech -9.
Here's the thing: Breech is either really, really, really good, or he is
terrible,
or he's the smack talking version of Brinson right before he tried to race Spanky bleep and got absolutely dusted.
I see Breech being like a spin guy who's like trying to cut it, and all of a sudden I'm just bringing this over the top forehand that has him just pinned against the wall.
So, Breech, did you have a ping pong table growing up?
I did too. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but Breech has a bunch of brothers and sisters. They're all competitive. His dad's.
You don't need 7 brothers to play ping pong. You need 1.
But you can play every day, and they're all good.
And they get in fights. It's very. You just got you and Charlie.
A lot of fights.
Stupidest argument.
Dozens of fist fights. I've gotten in fist fights over ping pong more than anything else.
Okay, -8. And look,
you who's so bad he'll throw the paddle at me.
You can see the concern on Brinson's face. He went from I'm going to dominate this fool to like, oh, wait a second,
I'll crush him.
All right, set it up.
I feel quite confident I will beat Breech outright.
Did Debo give his line yet on this?
What's that?
Did Debo give a line? I want to know what he thinks about it.
Debo, what do you think? Look how quick.
Gotta add myself every time. Independently, before anyone said it, I think 6.5 is a fair line because you're only playing to 21, so you got to remember that. Setting it at
this is so disrespectful.
Wait, 6.5 for who?
I mean, you're saying Debo. You're saying Breech -6.5.
Yeah. What if I wasn't?
What grounds is Breech good at anything?
He just told us.
Like his dad was a kicker. That's it. He has brothers. That's your logic for Breech is good.
Dad was a kicker in the Super Bowl.
What in the hell does that have to do with playing ping pong?
Clutch. That's what it has to do with it. You're raised to be clutch. My dad now has a higher postseason field goal kicking percentage than Justin Tucker. That is clutch, Brinson.
There it is. Brinson is so nervous right now. I can't wait till
I'm furious.
The first thing I want to do when the pandemic is over is watch this live. That's all I want to do.
We got to figure out whose home field advantage in ping pong is a big deal.
You set it up wherever you want.
On the moon.
You want. Just make sure that I want a wooden paddle. I don't want
North
that
Dakota. In Fargo, North Dakota.
Do you have a paddle? Do you have a paddle at your house, Breech?
I have one. I can get one.
I don't have one either. I'm just.
Oh, I thought you guys play all the time. What is this?
I mean, I had one growing up. I don't have one here.
It's like Kingpin.
This is a little bit like Kingpin.
I would like to add.
We will obviously live stream this on Twitch if this happens.
Right. I would like to add, like, tweet us, leave a 5-star review. We need stakes. We don't have to go over stakes now because that's another 20-minute discussion.
Oh, God, yeah.
But some sort of stakes must be on the line. I know tattoos will get thrown out there.
No tattoos. We're done with tattoos after this NFL season. No more tattoos.
Yeah, shave your head. That's a great one.
Oh, Wilson, do you want to hear my theory on your tattoo? I'm not shaving my head.
Is it the stupid one Breech brought up about doing it on my head?
No.
Brinson, if you're going to win, it shouldn't matter what the bet is.
I'm not shaving my head.
Breech, you can't shave hair plugs. They won't come back. What is your theory?
So my theory is that you kind of want this tattoo because you're in a pandemic. You've been locked in with your 2 kids. By the way, we got your Christmas card the other day. Your children, beautiful. My wife remarked on it. She said, Wilson kids, amazing, great photo. I don't know who they paid to do that, but incredible job.
My wife said the same thing. Then she also said, does Wilson know the holidays ended 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, she said that too. My wife said that. She was like, it's January.
It's been a tough year.
Compliment sandwich.
And he was anal retentive and he was punctual.
Oh my God. Yeah. Trust me.
Anyway, what the hell was I talking about?
I want a tattoo.
Wait. You've been locked in your snow-filled house for 9 months with your 2 children. You have to podcast with me multiple times a week.
What's a tattoo going to give me?
No. This is it. See, you have a midlife crisis on your plate. You know it's coming. You need something to get it out. Whether it's you buy like a necklace, or you get another earring, or you buy like a motorcycle or something.
Yeah,
maybe. And you realize that you have an out here. If you get the tattoo,
that's it.
But you can be like, oh, I had to get it because of the podcast, and then all those midlife crisis demons will just go away. And
I don't want Ryan
Wilson.
I want Ryan Finley's face on. I mean, if I'm going to tattoo, I'll get like a Chinese symbol that no one knows what it means. Something stupid like that. I'm joking. My point is that if you have a midlife crisis, Ryan Finley's tattoo isn't where you land.
No, but you're like, listen, I lost a bet. What are you going to do? So you have to admit to the midlife crisis.
Have you been drawing anything up, Breech, or you're waiting for something to happen?
We're getting the dime.
I think the dime is the play.
All right. I'm solid.
With Finley's face on it.
Here, that's a little that's not fatty. Maybe fatty for you. You got to go back shoulder, I think. That's the spot.
You're crazy. I'm getting on the groin. Or as I told Brady Quinn, not the butt cheek.
Midlife super crisis.
I told Brady on the Pick Six podcast a few weeks ago, I'm not doing the butt cheek, I'm doing the butt crack, so no one will ever see it. That's where Ryan Finley belongs anyway.
All right, we got to do winners and losers. We only have
Are you kidding?
2 games for today. Give me a winner. Who wants to go first, Wilson or?
I know what Breech is going to say, so I'll go with Steph Diggs. Great trade for both sides. Worked out really good for Stephon Diggs. Led the NFL in targets, receptions. Had another big game today. He seems extremely excited, as he should be, because he's now going to the AFC Championship game.
That's a fantastic call. I mean,
my winner.
He has had the biggest season.
Just huge.
Huge. Every game he just shows up and puts up big numbers.
And he caught the miracle in Minneapolis too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So he had, last week he had 6 for 128 and a touchdown. And then tonight he had, I think, 6 for.
I think it was under 100, but yeah.
No, he had over 100.
Oh, he did?
8 for 106 and a touchdown.
Ooh,
he's having a
huge.
He might go bananas against the Chiefs. And if they win that game, all of a sudden he's teetering on like Larry Fitz, Steve Smith, Jerry Rice postseason category.
He's good.
It's if the Minneapolis Miracle counts, is Stephon Diggs quietly one of the elite postseason wide receivers?
Oh yeah, depending on what happens this year, but yeah, I mean that's a good start. Go to the Super Bowl, or you help your team beat the Chiefs with his numbers, and then
he's got some numbers.
My winner is Aaron Rodgers. Look, the guy has been this will be his 5th trip to the NFC title game, 6th trip if you count when he was Favre's backup. But just as he's been a starter, his 5th trip, the 4 previous ones were all on the road. He finally gets to be a starting quarterback in an NFC championship game at Lambeau Field, and he finally gets a chance to earn a shot to get a 2nd Super Bowl ring. He is playing an MVP level, and I think it would be fun to see him in the Super Bowl because of the way he's playing. So Aaron Rodgers finally gets to play an MC title game at home. He's my winner.
My winner is Sean McDermott.
Woot woot.
William and Mary's finest. Not only, by the way, it sucks that Sean Wagner McFart left this podcast when he did and went to law school, crawled out of CBS to go to law school because no one dogged Sean McDermott harder.
Oh, that's
no one has been more wrong. He's like, he started Nate Peterson against the Chargers.
Right.
I mean, that take aged like a double last name.
And he also said Aaron Rodgers was washed up.
That
This would not have been a great year for him.
Sean McDermott now, I believe, is about one more win. I think he might jump Lou Saban for third highest win-loss percentage in Buffalo Bills coaching history. He already has the what is it? He already is has the third most wins in Buffalo Bills coaching history, and he is now tied Lou Saban for the second most wins in Buffalo Bills playoff history. This guy is a freaking stud. This guy wins. And now I'm not want to dig at Debo here. I'm not doing this at all, but like people forget that the Eagles ran him off as defensive coordinator after Jim Johnson died because he wasn't Jim Johnson, and he limped out. He ended up in Carolina, ends up with Ron Rivera, and is blossoming in Buffalo. This guy, this team doesn't make mistakes. They win more games than they should every year. And you see the way they're like behaving in the playoffs. They're not turning the ball over, and they're winning in the little gray areas to come away with victories. Sean McDermott, definitely a top 10 coach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Top 5. Is he top 5?
Yeah, we were talking about top 5.
They could talk me into that.
Yeah, me too. Well, then you gotta go Belichick, Reed,
Sean Payton,
Tom Payton, and then who'd you say?
Kyle Shanahan is up there.
Well, I think Tomlin. Yeah, I mean
Tomlin. Yeah, I would. Shanahan's not
let me ask you this: if no one has to know, William Mary trade, Steelers call the Bills. Hey, we give Tomlin for McDermott straight up. Who said what's the response from the Bills?
Oh, the Bills? No, they probably want to keep Tomlin. I mean, keep McDermott, and the Steelers probably want to keep Tomlin.
Okay. What about Seattle?
What about it?
Hey, this is John Schneider. I mean, Sean Jider.
What's the trade?
Pete Carroll for Sean McDermott.
Why would the Bills want a 75-year-old coach?
So you're saying the Seahawks would do that in a heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Pete Carroll's got a Super Bowl win.
Pete Carroll's extremely conservative in his play calling. I mean,
all right, that's fine. All right, move on from this.
We'll revisit it now.
An hour. Yeah. Give me your loser.
I won't take breaches. I will take Lamar Jackson. Not all entirely his fault. Didn't play as well as he needed to play to help that team win. He did win a playoff game this year, thank God. So Breech will quit talking about that. But he did not play well in a game where he needed to. Had the interception, got the concussion. That wasn't his fault. But leading up to the concussion, he wasn't exactly setting the world on fire. What?
His concussion wasn't his fault.
Why is it his fault? Someone snapped the ball over his head. My point is he didn't play.
Fault. When is the concussion your fault?
No,
if
but
you just bang your head on
you're in the movie Jackass, maybe. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah. No, but the interception was his fault, and he
ride a motorcycle over the Grand Canyon. You get concussed. It's your fault.
And he's been to as many AFC title games as Andy Dalton.
Oh,
you're not getting a dunk for that.
Go ahead, dum.
My loser are.
Oh, we missed.
That's the perfect thing to play for my loser, because my loser are all the kickers in Buffalo, mostly Justin Tucker. Look, Justin Tucker is the most accurate kicker in NFL history, but now all of a sudden in the postseason, he was only 4 of 8 on his past 8 kicks in the playoffs, which is obviously 50%. So yeah, I mean that's not ideal. I was looking at his total now is 13 to 17, which is 76.5%. So look, regular season, he's a 90.5% kicker, best in NFL history. Playoffs, he's 76.5. Huge difference. And we always talk about how you got to produce in the postseason. He is still the best kicker of all time. But look, when people talk about Adam Vinatieri, he's the guy who's hitting the clutch kicks in the playoffs. Those are the ones you remember.
Yep.
And so those are the ones you have to hit. Tucker didn't do that. But then again, neither did Tyler Bass, because Buffalo was a black hole for kickers.
My loser is the most obvious one. I can't believe you guys didn't take this. And it's so clear to me. It's Debo. He didn't change the message on Twitch once tonight. Pathetic. I mean, we're like, what are you doing? Like, the podcast is going live. Subscribe to Pick Six anywhere podcasts are found. What is that? Like, that's not messaging. That sucks.
You know, that is that Debo 19 weeks into the thing, mailing it in.
Wilson, you missed it.
Earlier.
Did you see the tweet that I sent out? It was like Debo posted. It was like breaking.
Yeah, that's what I responded to. I saw that.
Brinson loses all his bets.
I love that.
My loser is J.K. Dobbins, and I love J.K. Dobbins. I think he's a great player. I think he's going to be a great running back for the Baltimore Ravens in the next 3 to 5 years with Lamar Jackson. They pair great. I just said great like 7 times, like I'm the president of the United States or something. But he dropped 2 passes that you just can't drop. One at near the end of the first quarter that would have allowed the Ravens to run the clock out in the first quarter, flip the field. You don't get a 23-yard punt in that case because you're not punting into the wind and the wind gust. Maybe that changes things. And then 2 down near the goal line. And look, I mean, again, awesome player, stud young running back, but 2 terrible drops. And someone in our Twitch chat pointed out, it felt like the Clemson game all over again. We're going to do this all over again tomorrow or today. I guess it is today. In fact, we'll do it again in less than 12 hours. Oh my goodness gracious. We'll be doing a live stream on Twitch and YouTube in about 12 hours, 2:05, I think, probably about 2:00. We'll go live. You can listen to it. You can watch it, listen to it on YouTube or Twitch. Check that out. You can also see us. John Breech and I will sweat the fourth quarter of the Buccaneers Saints game. Man, I hope that's close.
And if it's close, we will make some live bets live on air, but we didn't do that this time because Lamar Jackson wasn't in. You're not going to bet on the Ravens, and it was just a disaster. Our plan fell apart. We'll
live bet. We'll sweat through it, and then Wilson will join us after for the recap. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the community. We always appreciate it. You guys are the best. See you guys later today.